Shortly after Sparksicon fiasco came to an end.
Miss March, please, look straight into
Wait,
my
Kuchiba?
eyes. Just like that. Perfect.
What's happening here? Hello, baby gangsters. This is Calvin, also known as Romer, and this is my first ever playthrough of Honkai Star Rail. It's hard not to say that we ended on one of the craziest, like, cliffhangers and, like, setups and, like, you know, intriguing series of moments ever in Honkai Star Rail. So, of course, like, I am buzzing to get into this part as well. Honkai Star was so good at, like, creating these parts where it's like, what is going to happen next, honestly, and I'm feeling it. I'm definitely feeling it.
Now, I'll need you to repeat these next few lines after me.
What is happening?
And do so in the same tone of voice.
What is happening?
Okay.
The sky is blue, not a dazzling display of sparks.
Why are we doing this?
The sky is blue, not a dazzling display of sparks.
I'm so worried as to what this is.
Though dazzling sparks may light up the night sky, they can never outshine the eternal silence of stars.
Okay.
Are you kidding? That's one sentence? Okay, though dazzling sparks may light up the night sky, they can never outshine the eternal silence of stars?
Even if that's not the accurate one, it is accurate now. That's just the fact.
Very good.
She's in like a doctor's office? There's like medical supplies back there anyway.
Very good.
Oh, she repeated very good.
The internet is both an umbilical cord and a waste duct for the mind,
What?
through which humanity's thirst for elation gave birth to the twisted Sparksy.
Oh, you know what's happening right now, I think? And this actually makes a lot of sense. First of all, hilarious that March repeated very good as well. Again, she told her to repeat the stuff, right? But what's happening here is I think they're trying to assess everyone who was taken over in their minds by Sparksy, so that they are very much aware that they are not obsessed with Sparksy anymore, right? Because in this case, they're saying like, you know, they're talking about the twisted Sparksy. I think they're trying to make sure that they know that this was wrong.
Whoa there! That's a bit much. Oh, maybe she can be the one to say it?
This is like such a crazy way to start the suit. And honestly, like, starting with a bit of levity, not a terrible idea, you know? Because it got heavy. It got heavy last time. What are you guys up to? She looks
These
so cool.
are the test sentences I improvised according to the guidelines from the Human and Intellitron Emotional Baseline Test.
Okay.
I carefully observe the subject's micro-expressions and tone changes at the moment they say the name Sparksy, to check if they are infected by a mimetic
Okay.
virus.
So it's not just the fact that they have to say the thing that, like, you know, disparages Sparksy. It's like it's the what they look like when they say the name Sparksy.
So I passed the test, right?
Given how fascinating your reaction was, I clearly don't need to worry about you. Should you find yourself experiencing any live stream addiction withdrawal symptoms later, feel free to contact the Department of Aberration Defense staff. We'll provide you with a series of corrective behavioral
Fair enough. Like, I
treatments.
think what happened here just makes perfect sense, right? It's like it's definitely a what you would expect to happen after everything. Like, they're gonna have to like assess how like everyone's mind is. Like, is there any residue left over? Like, I actually think it's like not a bad idea. And again, we talk about the world feeling alive. Like, of course they'd check this stuff afterwards. Like, of course they would. And Kuchiba looks so cool, by the way. It's such a cool outfit.
You're handling this like a real pro, Miss Kuchiba. Has this kind of thing happened before?
It's impossible to predict what will happen during the Phantasmoon Games. Once, a supplicant reversed the definitions of truth and lies, which nearly caused massive civil unrest.
With all the stuff that happens in these games, whether it be like, you know, I know the Bloodstained games are different from everything that's happening here as well, but I feel like it's obviously like opening the door for craziness, right? This is just, I think it goes without saying, right? That's like, it's opening the door for absolutely craziness. And I think that's why, I hope it never sounds like I'm saying like it's a foregone conclusion that someone would start being an absolute murderer. I'm not saying that because that's beyond like whatever is happening here. But I do think it's one of those things where like, if you make a competition where like it's about like people like, you know, gaining attention and doing stuff that's like, you know, really off the wall and like, you know, like it's and meeting a god and getting an audience with an Eon, it really does feel like, you know, you're opening a weird door that like makes people try to like one up the next thing they've done. I'm not saying about the murder. The murder is just insane, right? The slaughter is insane. Like, but I'm saying that like, I feel like you're opening a door for this type of stuff here. You're opening the door for people to do stuff that is crazy. I'm not saying it's correct or right. I'm saying that they have to know that this type of stuff like is going to happen, you know?
After that incident, we incorporated mimetic treatment into the Department of Aberration Defense's emergency safety protocols.
Oh, it's not even a hot take to say that they know this stuff is going to happen. Remember we saw that big list of like rules and like what was it called, like the tips that they had for the Phantasm Moon games, and a lot of them were like written after something crazy happened. So it's one of those things where like they like legitimately like know this stuff happens all the time. Like this is it's not even a hot take. It's like they're opening the door for a lot of stuff to happen because they know because it happens all the time.
Sparksy Khan didn't cause any casualties.
Good.
This time. But if your partner hadn't stopped Sparksy from spreading the virus, she might have turned into a calamity-level aberration.
Calamity level, just how dangerous is that? Well, calamity is like, you know, you're talking about a plague on the world, a destruction on the world, right?
Without proper containment measures? A calamity-level aberration can destroy dozens of cities as it spreads. That's the scale we're talking about.
Look at that picture of the butt back there with the injection. That's great. No, legitimately, like I think, like, you know, as a kid, the reason I knew calamity was from video games, right? Where like they'd be like, a calamity is coming, and then like how you learn a word that is like, oh, what? A calamity is coming? They're gonna destroy the entire city, and you're like, so a calamity is like, oh, okay. And I love learning like stuff like that from video games, you know. I learned like a lot of English words. English is my native language, but I'm saying that like as I grew up, like I watched King of the Hill when I was like, you know, really, really young. So like I learned a lot of like phrases from King of the Hill, and like shows like that. But like from video games, I learned a lot of like, you know, terms. Like I remember like, you know, thinking like I used to like repeat the Japanese words that would be said in Tekken games on the schoolyard, thinking like this is as a kid, like, you know, I was probably like, well, like 8, being like, this is gonna impress a few people. you learn a lot from video games. Aberration is like what I see in aberration is like when I think of like in a ghostly form, it's like a vision of something that is like, you know, I don't know, maybe they'll explain it better than I will.
That's the Department of Aberration Defense's term for them. It usually refers to Imaginae infused with wish power who have lost control and begun to run amok. Over time, though, it's become a label that gets slapped onto any hazardous entity.
Okay. So what level of aberration am I?
You? An aberration?
I love you, Marge.
What are you talking about? Though, I gotta say, you do look pretty weird with that mask
We look pretty
on.
strange. We look pretty strange.
Don't tell me you're a Cosmicon collective player. The Department of Aberration Defense's hazard ratings are nothing like the power ratings in some card game.
Stop being so dismissive about our card game. Again, Kojiba, like, has one of the coolest NPC designs ever. Like, her hair is so cool.
Right then, that's all for the required checkup. If you're interested in aberration calamity threat levels and how they're classified, you might want to take a look at this document. However, do bear in mind that causing damage of the aforementioned scale during the Phantasm Moon games will cause you to be classified as an aberration.
Okay.
And dealt with accordingly.
So she's saying that, like, you know, like, it doesn't matter who we are if we do this type of stuff here and we, like, cause something like this at this scale. We will just be called an aberration. There's no way about it. Okay. Aberration threat levels in Planet Arcadia. Planet Arcadia has 5-tier rating system for uncontrolled aberrations and the scale of damage they cause. Ghost level. Weak presence, essentially harmless or causes minor discomfort. Small annoyances trouble a handful of people. Typically, idogenitive imaginae born from the collective consciousness, such as villains from comics. Panic-inducing objects spawn from rumors. Animated smart appliances, ghosts with distorted cognition, can be subdued by civilian ghost-busting squads. Even if they're left alone, they won't escalate into complex mass disasters. Fiend level. Poses a clear and present danger, capable of causing dozens of casualty or causing structural damage, throwing multiple city blocks or entire small towns into chaos. Typically powerful imaginate that have accumulated massive wish power and spiraled out of control, such as unspeakable entities lurking in urban legends for ages, or vengeful manifestations born from collective trauma, say mass casualties caused by the Herald of Death. So that would mean that the Herald of Death would be a fiend level. Okay. The Calamity level is a severe threat capable of causing casualties in the hundreds or more. But would that not mean that the Herald of... No, they talk about here as well. Okay, they talk about here as well. Yeah. Okay, sorry, my bad. Because they say, like, here, like, accumulative massive wish power, such as unspeakable entities lurking in urban legends, rages, or vengeful manifestations. They're saying mass casualties caused by the Herald of Death. But yeah, they're saying that he could have been a fiend level, but I think it went more than that. Severe, capable of causing casualties in the hundreds or more. That's definitely the Herald of Death. If left unchecked, they could lead to destruction of major cities and Arcadia's core regions. The Herald of Death falls into this category. There we go. In the Phantasm games, the upper limit of destruction caused by a supplicant going out of control also falls roughly within this range. Cataclysm level. A catastrophic threat capable of crippling an entire continent, causing mass casualties and environmental upheaval. Reality warping abilities manifest. At apocalyptic level. A level of threat capable of causing civilization to collapse or even the extinction of humanity on planet Arcadia's surface. The very existence is a great catastrophe. Do you think that, like, Blade is going to fall into one of these categories? The Calamity, Cataclysm, or Apocalypse? I'd say, like, they probably see him as more Cataclysm or Apocalypse level if, like, you know, he's like an omen of, like, the death of all Planet Arcadia, right? That's the way I would see it anyway.
Before I leave, there's one more thing I need to tell you. Remember Lyndon Scott? The man who served as your tour guide. He was murdered.
This is a rough thing to come to terms with. It's a really rough thing to come to terms with. Because as we said, like, I have no problem saying this, I was not a fan of him, but as I said, to me, him dying was the moment at the end of the first type of movie that you watch in, like, a trilogy, where things, like, were kind of, like, a little bit fluffier, a little bit brighter, more exciting, more heroic, but then at the end of the movie, there's, like, a moment where, like, something happens where you're like, oh. And it's not just him, by the way, it's the entire slaughter that happened, it's you know, the stuff with Himiko, it's all this stuff. But I'm saying that, like, killing off a character who, in a very brutal, horrific way, that was made to be a comic relief character that we can laugh at, that we can joke about, that we can have fun with, that we can make fun of, and then when he shows up, we laugh at him. He all of a sudden became a character that was slaughtered, like, you know, not in front of us, but like he's there dead on the camera, stooped over a table. It's a brutal change, and it's instant, like, okay, everything's gonna be different from now on. Scott's dead.
Yeah, the Scott we knew was, really
it's weird,
tenacious.
right? It's just weird.
Opponent.
You know? And you, again, in life, you feel this way even if there's someone you don't like in real life, right? If say you have a person you've been arguing with for years and you stop talking to or something like that, when they die, you're not gonna be like, well, you know, you're gonna be, it's gonna be shocking. It's gonna be like, what the hell, man?
We're sure. Both the ID and genetic information of the deceased match that of Mr. Scott's. You said he was once your...
Do you think she's saying this because a lot of times there can be things, like, I bet a lot of, and I still think it's very fair to still think that way. I want to make that clear, because I've even, like, you know, heard a patron's opinion on this too, and I think it's very valid to be like, oh, think that they could bring Scott back or something like that, because it's like, you know, you never know. Not that they're saying that they're going to come back, but saying you never know what Honkai Star Rail, like, you never know what they could do. But I think it is one of those things. The reason why they're saying this line right here is because I think they're trying to, like, play on those expectations of the audience as well. That might feel like, oh, is there a chance that maybe, like, you know, it was like a double or a fake or something like that as well? Because we might think that, you know, in some ways, to be like, hey, it was his genetic makeup, it was his ID.
You don't.
Oh, is that what she's asking?
Us, do you? I wouldn't exactly call Scott a friend, but we'd never do anything like that to him.
Not at all. And the thing is, like I'm not being bad, but we've had like 1,000,001 chances at this stage to hurt Scott very badly. Like, we have. I'm not saying that makes us a saint. I could have hurt you and I didn't. That type of argument never works. I'm saying that we could have. You know, if we wanted to do it, like, there's plenty of times that we could have done it and no one would have done, like, yes, they would have stopped us for, like, killing him, but I'm saying that, like, we could have, like, done a lot worse with the actions that he's taken against us sometimes. You know what I mean?
Easy there, young lady. I haven't even started asking questions yet.
Yeah, but you're not going to accuse March and Stella of this.
Of course. There's no way the renowned heroes of the Express would harm some lowly IPC employee simply because they had a problem with him. And more importantly, both of you have solid alibis.
It was barely a problem too. He had a one-sided problem. He was like a fly that would land on you, and it's like, oh, that's annoying, right? He was a one-sided argument. We didn't even have like I never felt like we had resentment towards him on a grand level.
The initial results of our investigation suggest his murder might be connected to the Phantasmoon games. I'm informing you both of this to warn you to be extremely careful.
Yep.
The Phantasmoon games are far from a simple game intended for passing the time
We
or
see
relaxation.
that. We definitely see that. I mean, look what happened to Sparksy on the base level.
Anyway, I wish you success.
Thank you, Kachiba.
Farewell.
Yeah, no, I understand what she's doing. That makes perfect sense. But like, it's one of those things where, like, yeah, it's driving it home, and I think she's trying to like maybe put a pin in it or a full stop in it, or an exclamation point where it's like, this isn't a game. This isn't just some fun tournament arc.
Scott. Could he actually... I just can't believe it. But it was Miss Kuchiba who told us, so it must be true.
I mean, that's the very dark thing about this as well, is that, like, you know, as we say, I love the music here. It's really, really beautiful, but a little bit somber as well. I said it last time. It's like, it's not about us loving Scott. It's about, it just feels so strange.
So, the Phantasmoon games. Pretty frightening, huh? What's your take?
I'm not feeling so good. I want to find the truth. I don't care at all. I want to find the truth. Yeah, I need to know what's
Yeah.
happening.
Even though Scott pops up now and then to give us a bit of trouble, I still feel bad about him dying so suddenly
Which is so
during
normal.
the Phantasmoon games.
It's so
like
normal to
this.
feel this way.
And without even knowing why.
And it's also like for me as well, where it's like finding out what happened to Scott is going to save more people's lives. It just will.
If the killer is here for the Phantasmoon games, they might become our enemies soon.
Yep. It just makes perfect sense.
The Phantasmoon games.
What's that for? You're way too young to decide like that?
Good thing Himeko entrusted this mission to the two of us. Who would have imagined that the Great March herself would be stopped at the doorstep in the very first
Oh, because she didn't get a
round?
mask?
Forget it. I'm not like you. I was never hero
Yes, you
material
were.
to begin with.
And our?
Normally my hands can't even keep up with my brain when
Don't
I
talk
play
like
video
this.
games. You're definitely the right person for the Phantasmoon games.
I'm sorry, but a person who, like, did what you did in Amphorius, if you don't think that's heroic, what you went through in Amphorius, most people would not even be able to go through 2 seconds of it. Mark, you are a hero.
It's just such a shame. We finally get a chance to vacation in Himeko's hometown. And I thought we'd make some happy memories together. But
I'll do hard work for both of us. I hope you'll be safe. Yeah.
I'll triumph in the Phantasmoon games in your stead.
Sorry, I read that wrong. I'll work hard for both of us. I said it'll be hard work for both of us.
all right.
Yeah. But, like, yeah, we're in it together. Like, the trio is never separated.
But
Emotionally.
look, don't push yourself too hard,
Oh,
okay?
look at her.
Remember that we've got your back.
This is what you call the sweetheart amongst all sweethearts. You guys need to understand that.
Oh, right. Where are Himeko and Mr. Yang? They must be getting examined and interrogated too, right? Why don't you send Mr. Yang a message?
I definitely would like a follow up what happened with Himiko as well, but I think they're like there's a reason why they're kind of like doing a bit more of a how would you say it, like kind of like a bit of like a build up to it, I guess. Mr. Yang, where are you? Have you seen Himiko? I just finished a mimetic infection screening. Himiko is still here, but I don't know where she went after. Still, I heard Himiko reunite with her father. Yeah, crazy! She seemed rather out of it. I didn't press her for details. Could you fill me on what happened back there? Our reunion convo that was hard to... it was a shocking revelation. With, being stuck between both of them was so awkward and nerve-wracking I could have excavated the entirety of the second Graphia campus the way my toes curled in such an intense cringe. You guys really want to hear the whole story? We're one big family on the Express. It's important to understand what our companions are going through. I'll be waiting for you in the classroom with that ghost you mentioned earlier. Come quickly. I agree that we have to tell everybody.
Mr. Yang said he wants to hear what happened between Himiko and her dad.
Yes.
Can't blame him for being curious. I really want to know too.
Yeah. But the thing is as well, like I imagine that Himiko won't. I was gonna say like maybe we shouldn't say what Himiko's business, but the thing is, I think it's actually like in this situation, I think Himiko would actually probably be very okay with us saying what happened because she also shares the same philosophy as Welt, right? She also shares the same philosophy, like we have to, you know, share our problems, and also maybe she might feel better that she doesn't have to want to explain it. And again, I trust Welt when it comes to his opinion of Himiko as well, right? Of course. So it's not gonna be a thing where like I'm not gonna trust him with that as well, of course. But yeah, very dark situation. It's the way they're describing it now is like that is her father. When like for my time when I was with this like last episode, I was like, wait, who's the imposter? What's this? Again, I knew like Himiko wasn't gonna be like an imposter, right? Of course, they wouldn't just have like Himiko with us this whole time and then like all of a sudden they're like, well, again, what if they do? They've had characters with us for ages that have like had different names, so maybe like that is the case of what's happened. I don't know.
Let's go buy some snacks
But
together.
even regardless, I'm going to like definitely like you know, wait to see what happens. Wait to figure out the story here. See what we're working with. Don't jump to any conclusions just yet. Be terrified, but don't jump to any conclusions. Man, it's. I know we could have warped here, but like, is that you? Who invited the Joker? What the hell is that? Who invited the Joker? Come to the door. Let's see what you got, Bats. What? You're not Batman. Yeah, it's me, Robin. Robin? No, not that Robin. Oh, okay. Well, if you see Batman, Kafka. Oh, you know Kafka? Who doesn't know Kafka? Barely a Joker impression at the end there. I know, I've never practiced this before. I've never done this once in my life.
You're here. Himiko hasn't mentioned her father at all in the time since I've boarded.
Whoa.
So, what is going on between them? As you were the only one with her at the time, you're the only one I can ask.
Like, I wonder if there's a way we can like, get in contact with Himiko as well, though?
Yeah, it really threw me for a sec when you said Himiko's father. But when you think about it, it's only natural that Himiko has a father, right? Not everyone's like me. Thawed out of an ice block.
Yeah, and then you're the most loveliest person who ever got thawed out of an ice block. But yeah, I love that idea. It's like Himiko having a father is kind of weird because like we just see her as like this eternal like you know, parental being. So here's what happened a while ago. Oh wow!
15 years ago.
This game.
The Phantom Moon Games of that year came to be remembered as the Blood-Stained Games. So many parents lost their children. So many people lost those dearest to them.
I'm so curious to see what's gonna happen here.
One of the victims was my very own daughter. Upon my return, I stood before the grave where she was laid to
This
rest.
is so weird. How? But she also thinks that her dad was like, you know, oh, this is so weird.
Her name was Himiko.
Okay.
So, this lady who bears her
This
name,
lady, what are you talking about, Bears? This is Himiko.
who exactly are you?
Who are you? So we saw this
15
already
years
as well.
ago, when I made up my mind to join this Phantom Moon Games, my father wasn't with me. Even as I fought for my life against the Herald of Death, my father was still off somewhere, wandering the cosmos. Strictly speaking, ever since I can remember, his presence in my life has been as thin as the air
And
in
the reason they're
space.
repeating these lines, by the way, is because obviously it's been like they cut off a scene before the end of it, intentionally so as a cliffhanger, and now it's probably been like what, like a month from you guys, a month and a bit, maybe. Who knows?
So, I would ask you, who bears his name. Who exactly are you?
And the anger in her voice too, by the way. There's a lot of frustration there.
Well, well, well. Look at you. What are you getting so worked
What do you
up
mean? What did you
over?
get? What do you mean?
Just a joke. A joke.
What?
It's been 15 years after all. And you've grown into such a fine young lady. How could you expect your old man to recognize you
What's
right
the
off the
joke?
bat?
What's the joke? What is the joke? I'm so confused what the joke is. My daughter died 15 years ago. What is that funny? Well, how's this? What's the joke?
So, what's with that gravestone I saw with your name on it then?
Wait. Oh no, sorry. The joke is still a weird joke, right? Like, oh, because he's saying yeah, I saw my daughter had a gravestone with a name on it 15 years ago, right? And then it's like, but the joke is like, who are you? But he's like, no, I actually know you're my daughter. I couldn't mistake you. That's not like, I don't find that funny, right? My daughter died 15 years ago, so who are you? Get it? It's like, no. I get it, but it's like not funny. Like,
When you don't know if you'll live to see tomorrow, there's nothing strange about getting your affairs in order in advance, is there, Mr.
wait,
Ryusuke?
she got a gravestone for herself?
Mr. Ryusuke,
She's not calling him dad, by the way, her father.
how could you be so formal with your own father?
She just said.
At least call me dad like you
She
used
said you
to,
were
okay?
a presence that was thin as air. Hide in the corner is hilarious.
Hold it.
What are you saying, hold of her?
And you
Who do you think you are?
Don't tell me. Himeko, is this your child?
Calm down, Ryosuke. Grandpa! No, I would not say it. Hold on, is misunderstanding.
I haven't seen you in 15 years, and now I'm a grandfather. Wait,
No.
who's the father?
Ryosuke.
That's enough! You are looking at my colleague. A new
Listen to this
generation
tone of voice here.
trailblazer. My friend and my companion on the Astral Express. Do you understand now, Father?
So this is so great. The tone of voice is so, like, frustrated, and there's a bitterness to the voice as well, because it's one of those things where, like, it's like, you know, it's very clear that, like, the thin as air line is so important to Himiko, because this was a person that, like, obviously was a big part of her life, her father, but then became someone that wasn't a big part of her life. And there is a clear, and again, when I say bitterness, I want to make this clear, an understandable bitterness. This isn't a bitterness where I'm like, oh my god, like, Himiko, calm down. It's like, no, that's like, for, like, if she's saying that, like, he became less and less of a presence in her life, and she felt like maybe, like, he wasn't a part of her life as much as possible, the bitterness that she has in her voice, I'm supporting her. If Himiko turns around now and says, actually, I want to forgive you, Dad, for being like a thin as air part of my life, I'd be like, okay, I'll support you. I'm whatever Himiko wants, Himiko gets.
You hear that? She called me father.
Buddy, but the tone.
Hello there, my friend. Sorry about that. I thought you were Himiko's daughter
I
for
am,
a second there.
but, like, not biologically. Do you not watch any of the news at all? Like, I'd be honored to be Himiko's daughter.
You must forgive me. I'm just an old-timer who's lost touch with the times. I'm a painter. Most of my work involves traveling to different segmenta to complete commissions for my clients. Himiko. I know I've let too many chances to spend time with you slip away.
That's an interesting way to put it. But the music here is so interesting too. There is, like, such a, like, as it, like, there's a somber feeling to it. It's like, it's kind of this, like, very beautiful kind of deep, meaningful conversation backdrop music, you know, where, like, there is, like, I don't know if they did the word I'm looking for. There is, like, a feeling of, like, history to it. There is, like, a feeling of, like, you know, there's, like, some deeper emotions, but it's not as heavy. It's kind of, like, more playful in a way.
Just slip away? The first time we met was at Mother's funeral, when I was already 6 years old.
Oh my god. And again, seeing Himiko be frustrated now, again, this has clearly upset her as well, as it would.
Let's put that aside for now. Were you also too busy with work when I was suffering from a weathering curse?
A weathering curse.
You might not believe me, but I've been running around for your sake all this time. All these years, I've been trapped in this room that represents the past that I imaginated.
Wait, so you're...
I've never left it.
So he created this room, and he's been trapped here because of it. But, like, can you answer a question as well about her, you know, not being around when she was sick?
You didn't know about me becoming the Express's navigator either?
15 years. The Express never stopped here once. You didn't even leave behind so much as a single word to indicate you were still alive. And the Department of Aberration Defense completely sealed off all records of what happened during those Phantom Moon games.
So as far as he's concerned, there's a possibility that she did die at that moment.
I did hear many rumors about the Astral Express, though. I even saw the navigator's name.
Right.
At first, I thought it was just someone else with the same name.
Which is normal. Very normal to think that way.
And even when curiosity drove me to look up your picture, I still didn't dare believe that the woman so full of poise and grace was my daughter. She'd grown up safe, becoming a living legend in her own right. I thought about contacting the Express, but what if their navigator was just someone who happened to share the same name?
I mean, the thing is, like, right then and there, like, they could have just been like, if it was the same name, they could have just been like, yeah, sorry about that, buddy, you know?
I've been clinging to an absurd notion that if I never sought the answer,
Ah, that makes sense.
there was still a 50-50 chance
Emotionally, I get
my
that.
daughter was still alive. But if I found the answer, and it was no, then she would truly
Yeah,
be
emotionally, I think I understand this so much. So it's like you know, like it's a conclusive answer, right? Once you find out that it's not exactly her, he can think like maybe that's my daughter in the Astral Express. But if I call right now and get a conclusion and they say no, she's dead, right? And yeah, emotionally, I get that so much. Emotionally, I understand that so much. That makes so much sense to me, emotionally.
dead. So, Himiko. How
I'm not saying
did
it's
you-
perfect, by the way. I'm not saying that, like, because I think that, like, the most perfect response to be would be to call the Express and be like, are you my daughter? Try to find his daughter, make sure his daughter's okay, right? And all those things too. But again, we're talking about, like, you know, Honkai Star Rail characters aren't perfect humans. You know what I mean? And this isn't me, like, doing a 180 on Ryusuke. I still think the whole thing of, like, being, like, a neglectful and distant parent is not a good thing whatsoever. And it's not going to be something I'm going to say here and be like, I understand. It's more of a case of just, like, we have to look at every facet. And, like, in that moment there, where it's, like, the idea of, like, him not wanting to, like, confirm it is not perfect. But emotionally, it's like, oh, man, like, you can put yourself in his shoes in that one moment and be like, you can understand how your mental health and your mind would make you feel that way. Even though, again, the perfect and good response for your daughter is to find out she's alive. Your mind works in weird, effed up ways. It really does. It really, really does.
I'd rather not tarry here too long.
Yep.
I'll be taking my leave.
I'm taking my
now,
leave too.
Dean.
Again, whatever Himiko wants is what Himiko gets.
The Express has defeated the supplicant that occupied this school and prevented another tragedy like the one 15 years ago. Now it's time for you to fulfill the duties you failed in back then. Go comfort those students. And see if you can't figure out how to deal with the media bombardment while you're at it.
The duty you failed at 15 years ago. What a cutting line.
Failed in my duties. So, still mad at me.
I feel like, you know, dude, like, you have to understand, especially, as I said, like, an emotionally distant father. A lot of, like, parents sometimes feel like it's just like, well, I wasn't that bad. I just, like, didn't show up to your games a few times. I didn't, like, you know, I wasn't there all the time, but that doesn't mean I was bad. Because, again, a lot of parents think that just being bad means, like, you know, maybe, like, physical, you know, abuse, or they think being bad is, like, when they do a direct insult to you or something like that as well, or something like that, or make you cry every day to your face. They think that's, like, the only thing that makes you a bad parent. But, like, in this case here, like, he just doesn't get the idea that, like, you know, and maybe he does get it, maybe he does understand it, but I feel like sometimes parents don't feel like, it's like, all I did was not show up to your Little League games. Like, that affects a kid. You know what I mean? Seeing your dad for the first time at your mother's funeral when you're 6, that is something you remember, you know? You really do.
Can we talk?
If Himiko's okay with it.
Sorry, kid. This might be a bit abrupt, but has Himiko ever mentioned her surname to you?
She rarely talks about herself. She actually does rarely talk about herself. It's like this is why this Planet Katie has been so, like, different.
I'm a failure of a father. I broke her heart. But what exactly happened 15 years ago? I can't believe it. She actually survived the weathering curse.
Curse. Is it what is the weathering curse? Yeah, what is that? What is the weathering curse?
Have you heard the tale of the legendary painter Graphia, who hid everything on this planet's surface within a scroll? It is said that to achieve such a monumental feat, she made a forbidden exchange, sacrificing both her own life and that of her descendants, resulting in the weathering
So all the descendants
curse.
of Graphia had a weathering curse?
Few descendants carrying the Graphia bloodline have lived past 30.
Jesus.
Most of them wither like flowers while they're still young, skin cracking and peeling like dried paint.
That's rough. That's very rough.
Himiko's no exception.
Oh man.
She was tormented by the curse for years.
I hate that. I hate thinking Himiko's suffering whatsoever. And what did you do for her? She suffered?
What I did.
The
Doesn't
issue
matter
is
anymore.
that it does. she literally talked about this earlier.
The Elixir Seekers' folk remedies, the Intelligentsia's guild treatments. I tried them all. But nothing could reverse the curse.
Right. Okay.
All the time spent searching for cures only resulted in me not being by her side when she needed me the most.
I can totally get why this is like a very complicated situation because, of course, from the father's perspective, it's like, I am saving my daughter. I am trying to find things to save my daughter. This is totally like 100% where you look at it and be like, that's like, you know, what a lot of fathers would do. But because of like, and you can't blame Himiko for this whatsoever. You can't. Himiko is sitting there suffering. She's alone. She's without her father. And already he's this person that was already distant in her life and like when she was a supplicant wasn't there in her life and all this stuff as well. So there's a situation where it's one of those things where, like, for example, like if she knew that he was going off doing all this stuff, like, and he was already like an amazing father who like was always there and always like around her, it probably wouldn't be as like bitter for Himiko. And the example I would give is like, say like, you know, you have a friend who like is always nice to you and always lovely and always kind, and then one time they say something that's like really tone deaf. You kind of let it slide a bit because you're like, okay, look, you're usually you're not yourself today. But if someone is like constantly being like tone deaf constantly, and then they say something that's like, okay, that kind of like can snap a relationship. In this case, it's one of those things because he was distant early on in her life, and because there was times where he's distant or in this as well. There's a feeling then, like, you know, that even if it is like trying to help, it's just you weren't by my side. That's all she's gonna remember. You know what I mean? For sure.
In the end,
Yeah.
I am nothing but a
I'm not saying yes to
useless
use as far.
father.
I'm saying it's just like it's a very like unbelievably complicated situation, and you can't blame Himiko for being upset whatsoever about this. You know what I mean? You can't. But you appear to be very healthy. That's a good question, right?
I'm just a useless son-in-law who married into the family.
Oh,
Strictly speaking, I can't really be considered a Graphia descendant.
interesting. Oh, because she's a son-in-law. He's a son-in-law. She's safe and sound now. Isn't that what matters?
You're right. I just didn't realize it quickly enough.
It's going to be a very complicated and difficult situation for Himiko.
How she got through it, how she survived, none of that's important. What matters is that my daughter is back. That's all I need.
And I can sense the genuine excitement from him, right? There is a genuine excitement from him.
If I may ask a small favor, would you
No.
mind showing me where my daughter works?
We should not say this without Himiko's permission. I'm just being real.
I want to make up for all the care I failed to give her all those years.
Then
I want to get to know my daughter
we should
better.
not show him to the Express. I disagree with that personally. I disagree with that very we should.
Truly a memorable father-daughter reunion. Brings up some memories of my own home as well.
Yeah, I'm not trying to be cruel here, but like I'm not gonna budge on this either. This isn't like and usually I'd be like, oh yeah, like what do you get? Like this is my take that's not gonna budge me whatsoever. I'm sorry, but like in that moment, like if we actually took him to the Express to be like, here's where she works, like I feel like that would have been like something I would not want to do because, you know, we need permission from Himiko first. You know what I mean? It's just end of, you know?
There goes Mr. Yang with that knowing look again. Just what kind of parent-child relationship are we talking about anyway?
When I was a child, my parents were also always busy with work and were unable to spare a moment for me. As a child, I couldn't help but feel resentful. It wasn't until I became a father myself that I understood how they felt when they were forced to sacrifice the time we could have spent together.
Yeah, it's 100% a thing where like there is a, and again, I'm being very fair about all this. So it's not one of those things where I'm thinking I'm not being unfair. The thing is, no matter what, it's like, yes, they might be working all the time, yes, all this stuff as well, but like no matter what, the kid is going to have that perception of what happened for the rest of their life. And that's why you still have to like work as hard as you can to break that perception. Like you do, you know? And again, I know I'm sitting here like, you know, from the perspective, it's much easier. I'm sitting in my like cozy chair playing this game, but like you still have to like have time for your kids, you know, as much as possible.
So, did you already promise to give Mr.
I hope we didn't.
Ryusuke a tour
I
of the
hope we did
Express?
not. I hope Himiko's okay with this.
Thought as much. After all, it's Himeko's dad. So, where is he?
And again, I'm sure that Himiko in the end will be okay with this. That's what I'm saying. And so I'm not going to harp on this too much, but like there's a feeling in the pit of my stomach was just like, this is not, I wouldn't.
Ah, everyone's here. Sorry to keep you all waiting. I'm truly grateful to all of you for looking after my daughter.
She's looking after us, buddy. She's looking after us. Yeah, I'm not here condemning her dad to death. I'm just saying the truth, which is like that like me personally, I would have like asked permission from Himiko if we could bring someone who she's clearly very frustrated with onto the Express. She would ask us if we could bring someone that was, you know, horrible to not horrible. I'm not saying horrible, but you know what I mean.
Not at all. She's the one who's been taking care of us.
Yes, exactly. She has been. She's been so amazing.
Would you all be so kind as to show me around?
Sure. Again, I'm not going to harp on it because I think it will like completely ruin the vibe. I feel like the whole episode if I'm just sitting here being like,
so
get him off the Express.
This is the Astral Express. Really lives up to its reputation. It's even more impressive than I imagined. As to be expected, of course, huh? It's the place where my daughter works.
Again, you can tell he does have like
By the way,
a love for her.
what's the pay like for a navigator? And does a position come with insurance and an annual bonus?
Talk about parental love. First thing out of his mouth is asking about her salary. Like I'd have a clue. Help! A little backup here?
The Nameless don't have much of a way in income. We Nameless earn the least as much as you do. Yeah. Sure.
Hey, that's not totally true. We get some spending money every time we
Yeah, but I feel like our jobs are like room and board, right? We get our place here, we get our food, we get to live together, we get some spending money. Like it's like, yeah, like I feel like at that stage, like you're not really looking for like a salary if you have like breathing room and stuff like that as well, and you'll have a great life, you know?
What? No income? Don't tell me that everyone working for the Astral Express is actually doing volunteer work.
Bro, do you see what we do here? Like, you couldn't pay us enough money for the stuff that the Astral Express does. Look at what we did in Unforged. You cannot pay us enough. If we actually got paid directly compared to, like, what we do, we would be billionaires. Like, it wouldn't make any sense. You'd have to pay us would literally be like it would put every single planet in the world in debt. It would be tomorrow.
I mean, I guess you could say that. But actually, it's more like... I'm butchering the explanation. Anyway, it's nothing like what you're thinking.
Mr. Ryusuke, please rest assured. None of the Express crew ever lack for money. We not only receive support from members of the Genius Society, but also from prosperous commercial worlds, such as the Planet of Festivities.
That's really cool. Because I didn't realize this fully, that the idea that they actually like get some funding from different places like this as well. And again, it makes sense, I guess, as well, right? If they expect, the Express to discover things and explore more worlds and stuff like that as well.
Ah, good, good. Hearing you say that is a huge relief, Mr. Yang. Speaking of which, what kind of work does being a navigator generally entail?
Don't you underestimate Himeko either. Her daily
She's incredible.
duties include charting navigation routes, calibrating warp
I love
jumps,
March is like selling this so hard here as well.
technical maintenance. Not to mention, she's always guiding the Nameless
We'd be
on
nothing without
missions.
Himeko. We'd be nothing without her. We'd be nothing without her.
Oh, my daughter is really something else, isn't she?
Of course. Every time we return safely from a trailblazing expedition, it's all thanks to Himeko's guidance and protection. She's the backbone of the Astral Express.
And you could be traced back, like, even like, Don Hong's big revelations, the moments in Balebog, you can trace like so much back to Himeko's intervention. The stuff with Balebog, with Topaz, like, she's done so much. The negotiations in Penacony, like, she is such a pillar of the Astral Express. Let me go tell Pom Pom what you just said. Where's respect for our conductor?
Hey, come on. You're just trying to stir up trouble.
Yeah, a little bit.
If Himeko's the backbone of the Express, then our conductor is the absolute cutest and hardest working of all. Right, Pom Pom?
I mean, yeah, he is as well, but like, I really think like, calling Himeko the backbone of our crew is probably the on surface crew is probably the best way to put it, right?
Oh? We got a new passenger?
And Pom Pom loves this, by the way. Pom Pom like doesn't care who you are. If you're a new passenger, welcome aboard. Pom Pom loves that stuff.
This gentleman does look kind of familiar.
This is Ryusuke, Himeko's father.
No wonder he felt so familiar. How are you, Mr. Ryusuke?
So he knows Ryusuke?
Conductor? Oh. So you must be my daughter's superior, huh? Well, thank you for taking such good care of her all this time.
Yep. And again, I want to make this clear. As I say this all the time, because I want to, like, before, because I know, like, someone's going to misinterpret my feelings on Ryusuke. I'm not sitting here saying that he doesn't care about Himeko. I'm not sitting here saying that he doesn't have, like, a love for Himeko. I'm not sitting here saying that, like, he didn't try his hardest to save Himeko. I'm not saying that whatsoever. These are all factual things. Like, it's clear that she cares. It's clear that he loves her. It's clear that he wants to have an interest in her now. It's clear that he tried to save her life with the weathering curse. This is all factual things, right? Of course. But what I'm saying, my only thing about bringing him onto the Express was that I felt it was one of those things where all I wanted was just to be like, hey, Himeko, he wants a tour of the Express. Can we take him on the Express? That's all it is. I don't think it's like an unfair thing to state, and it's just my take, and it's something I'm not going to really like budge on. It's just how I feel about this. It really is. And it's not a condemnation of Ryusuke. It's not me sitting here going like, this guy's an evil person. But I know the way the internet works. I know that, like, not you guys, but passerbys will come by and be like, actually, Ryusuke, like, isn't like this, like, evil person. It's like, I never said he was like evil person. I'm saying that, like, it's just about boundaries. That's all it is. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. I'm just going to put a full stop on it there. Because again, as I said, even though, like, I have no problem, like, giving my take on stuff and giving my opinion on stuff, I feel like I also understand that, like, if I've made my point. You know what I mean? And I don't want to, like, ruin the vibes of what could be some very funny scenes, because you already know my point. You already know my opinion. As we're walking through here, Ryusuke, you already know my take on bringing him on the Express.
Superior? That's way too formal.
Oh my god.
It's Himeko who's been taking care of the Express and everyone on it.
That's so freaking lovely that everyone's saying the exact same thing we did. Because again, like, that shows the game is writing good. It's game writing good. The game has good writing. Is because the fact that we said, like, yeah, she's taking care of us, and this is the general statement that they give her. Not because it's like, oh, I predicted we're going to say this. It's because this is the truth. They have shown truth through the writing, and now the stuff the characters are saying actually holds weight and water. Himeko.
What is he doing on the Express?
This is the most important moment. This is what I'm saying. This is the most important moment. However Himeko feels about this is what we will go with.
It's all my fault. I was just curious about your daily work, so I asked your colleagues to show me around. And I know I didn't ask your permission first. Just please don't be mad, Himiko.
Yeah, we're just gonna see how Himiko feels about this.
Mad? Why would I be mad?
Okay. If Himiko really feels this way, then... Oh, look, Pom Pom's sweating, though.
Mr. Ryusuke, welcome aboard the Astral Express.
Wow.
Is there anything else you'd like to
Whoa.
see? I can show you around.
She's like, oh, that's actually like really interesting. I never expected this. Himiko's being like extra formal with it. And to be honest, like, I think from Ryosuke's perspective, this might hurt more than like telling him to get off the express. Because at least if she's telling him to get off the express, there's like this kind of emotional weight to it. Her being like, Mr. Ryosuke, let me formally give you a tour. That probably like stings.
Well, I know you'd rather keep your distance from your good-for-nothing father. You're on a journey, and it's rude of me to barge in like this.
Like, I can tell what Himiko's doing, right? She's trying to emotionally distance herself from her father because she's felt hurt before, and that's what she's trying to do, right? And by making it more formal, she is able to make a distinction and set up a boundary for herself. Again, it might change as time goes on. I think I could change what's going on because I think that, you know, there's going to be a lot of revelations that she might have about what her father was doing when he was gone and all this stuff too. And maybe like, you know, as I said, it's not about like how I feel, right? If I like, I can sit here and be like, Himiko, you don't have to do it. You forgive or whatever. If Himiko came to me and said like, I want to for myself, I want to like make amends and build bridges between us. That's what we're going with. End of. You know what I mean? Whatever Himiko wants is what she gets. Obviously, someone might say, well, Calvin, what if Himiko like wants to like, you know, do knife throwing stuff where she throws 30 knives in the air and tries to catch all of them? Of course I'm going to say no then. You know what I mean? Like if something is bad for her health. But I'm talking about like in an emotional sense, like we will support her, is what I'm saying.
But it's been way too long since we last saw each other. As your father, I want to get to know you better. Make up for all the time we've lost.
This is such a interesting scene.
At least while you're staying here. Please allow me to show you some of the fatherly care and devotion I owe you. Will you?
Again, he feels like he has to make up for lost time.
Excuse me? Why don't the two of you go to the party car? Shush, get the drinks ready.
Oh my god, Pom is just excited to have someone on the express. Himiko looking a little bit, her formal kind of like stance has kind of broken a little bit, as you can see here as well. She's guarded, she's holding herself, eyes to the ground. Like the Pom.
Shush. All right. I'll go make some tea.
That's just our domestic robot's name. Come on, Father. People are resting here. Let's not disturb them. Oh, and come with us.
Okay. Sure. No. I get what she's doing here. This is a buffer. This makes perfect sense. This is an emotional buffer. 100%.
I want to talk about the Phantom Moon games.
Okay.
Not just personal matters.
So maybe it's not just an emotional buffer. Because I think, you know, when you take someone with you to like be with you when you're talking to like a parent or like someone who's like not being very, you know, you have like a bit of emotional heaviness with, it can be an emotional buffer to have someone with you.
They left. Whoa. That's the first time I've seen
It was
Himeko
cold.
be that cold to anyone.
It was cold. Jade's like, oh, that was cold. Jade, get off the ship. You're here all the time. But like, no, I think they've done this in such a masterful way. I think the writing has been so good. I think that what they're doing here is like making it very complicated already. They're making it known from the start that it's not a thing where like Ryosuke is this evil person or whatever like that as well. But they're showing that there is like a complicated feeling here when it comes to Himiko because it's difficult. This is her dad who she felt neglected by. And regardless if like the neglect was as severe as she thought it was or isn't as severe as she thought it was, those feelings don't go away that quickly. It's not how that works. You can't just dissipate the feelings. It's not just one of those situations where like, you know, all of a sudden those feelings disappear. Right, the resentment disappears. It can't happen like that. And someone might say, well, then, you know, is it like important to make sure that like she knows this to 100%? Like it's important to know the truth of absolutely every situation. But it's also a thing as well where like if whatever Himiko needs, if Himiko said right now I cannot talk to my father, and I don't want to talk to him, we're leaving. I would say, let's go, pack up the bags, we're heading off. And someone might say, well, like, you know, well, no, people need a reunion. But I'm saying like in the immediate future, and people might say, like, Calvin, you're babying Himiko. That's not what I'm saying whatsoever. I'm saying that we need to give her what she emotionally needs, while also saying, as I said, when she feels ready to talk to her dad, like she is now, right? We support her, right? That's not babying. That's called support, right? And I think the bad response for me in this situation would be to be like, no, Himiko, you stay away, bad man. Himiko is staying here and nothing is happening. When he has to talk to Himiko, Himiko's like, okay, let's talk into the car. Like, instead of being like, no, it's like, no, okay, Himiko wants to talk, we'll support her, right? That's the way it goes, right? That's the way it happens here. And as I said, yeah, like I've made my opinions on this is known as well. It's not me calling anyone evil. It's me saying that this is a very complicated and intentionally complicated and hard situation. And again, it's Honkai Star Rail, so the writing is going to be incredible. It's going to be really, really good.
Oh, what are you still doing here? Himiko asked you to go to the party car.
I'm heading.
I get it. Reunions are private, and you don't want to spoil it for them. That's fair. It won't hurt to give them some time.
Yeah, I mean, like, honestly, though, I get emotional buffers if that's what she's trying to do, but we're also talking about the Phantasm Moon
I hope
games.
a drink will help the two of them set aside their past differences. If they do argue, I'm counting on you to play peacemaker.
Thank you, Welt. That's a big responsibility.
So that's Himiko's father. No wonder he looked so familiar.
No, Himiko's beautiful. He's Chop Central. He's the mayor of Chops. Cut the video. We fired that roamer, guys. It's Bromer now. Okay? He's gone. It's Bromer now. Yeah, and I do think this is going to be good, right? I think it's going to be good to have this conversation. I do.
When it comes to breaking the icy silence between a father and daughter, nothing's better than a cup of hot water.
Hot water?
The person who drinks it will yelp, "Hot!" and be immediately met with a concerned, "How could you be so careless?" from the other party. And just like that, the conversation starts flowing.
Yeah, right. I think there's other ways to do this.
Friendly reminder, that is not a joke, but a practical ice-breaking tip.
No, I don't. Well, no, I do know that maybe helping someone can break the ice, but I don't know.
Your robot is hilarious. I'm surprised how relaxing and comfy the work environment is here.
Himiko? Yeah, things are still fresh. And again, as I said, this is probably going to be very good, right? To actually like encounter her dad and because again, for her sake as well, to like come to terms with like everything that happened then. But I do love the Honkai Star Rail is actually letting Himiko be a little bit distant, explore her own feelings, you know, rather than just having it be a situation where she's right away just, you know, Dad, you know.
Got it. I'll make myself scarce.
I like that they're writing it like this, to be honest.
Being a nameless is neither relaxing nor comfy. Most of the time, we are facing down Void Rangers from the Antimatter Legion, bugs left by the Swarm disaster, Borisin, and various organizations that are suspicious of the Express or have malicious intentions for us.
I mean, this is true. As you said, we literally defeated like a near god. You know what I mean? Like we've done things that like you couldn't pay us for.
That dangerous? Huh. Maybe.
Oh my god.
This trip home is a great chance to quit your job.
Oh my god. This actually would be my parents. You know what I mean? My parents raised a quitter. No, not that I quit job, but like if anyone's being like even like a little bit mean, they'd be like, yeah, F them. Quit. You know, F those guys. But like, you know, they obviously taught me, you know, hard work as well. But you know what I'm saying? Like, I think they're very much like, you know, they're worried. He's worried here, kind of being like, quit, please.
Talk about coincidence. Just so happens I'm getting on in years. And Graphia Academy is in need of a new dean.
Oh, he's gonna give her, you want her to take the job? She likes being a nameless though. That's who she is. That's who her identity is. And she's so good at it. She's really good at it.
You know that's not what I meant. Once I've set my mind on something, I never look back.
And again, we will be nothing without Himiko.
Ever since I was 6, when you told me those stories about traveling through the cosmos, I knew that someday I would walk among
your
the
stories
stars.
inspired her. That should be a proud aspect, a proud moment that your stories inspired Himiko.
Actually, I was just kidding. I'm not completely clueless about what the Express and what you do. Oh, right. Once I knew the Express was coming, I even bought that comic series that's based on your adventures.
Oh, yeah? Like the one in Planet Arcadia?
Please don't tell me it's fluffy across the blue. I never thought you'd be into comics.
Do you see this guard dropping? Again, you can't escape. As we talked about, again, as I said, it's probably gonna be like one of those things where eventually we'll like have a little bit of a guard drop as well. It's still her dad.
That's right. The protagonist is a baseball bat-wielding raccoon. The character's based on that kid, right?
As an artist, you do have a good eye. Come over here.
Yeah.
Thanks for giving us some time alone.
It's no problem. Okay, so there we go. As I said, this is what I'm talking about. Like, it's never about like being like, I'm protecting Himiko from the world and she never can talk to anyone. Like, again, she understands she's an adult. She's 30-something years old. She understands what's good for her and she needs some time alone here. And now we get to talk amongst ourselves as well. It's perfect. Fine. Everything works out. Everything's good. She's not angry. We're not angry. Everyone's not upset. There we go. We go full steam ahead. Don't mention it.
Hey, Miko. That's the first time I've seen you smile since I've seen you this time.
Wow. Yeah, because she adores Stell.
So, what
She
brought
adores
you back
Stell.
home this time? What's the story behind our lucky meeting?
Like I said before, we're here for the Phantasmoon Games.
So, the Phantasmoon Games 15 years ago were the reason you were able to overcome the Weathering Curse?
Oh, but becoming a supplicant, you maybe gain power there?
Indeed.
Which would make sense since we know that the mask can amplify power, right? They amplified Sunday's power. So I wonder if it's one of those things where like it dissipated like any curses she had and illnesses.
I see. That makes sense. For those of us who haven't experienced the Ionic game firsthand, it's just something from the history books, or even akin to a myth.
But I never imagined that the Ionic game would turn into a blood sacrifice overnight.
And this goes without saying. You can hear the trauma in her voice, right? And it almost goes without saying because it's like, of course it would be. You know what I mean? Like, of course you would still feel this after all this time.
The Herald of Death was a heartless madman. If I hadn't defeated him then, all of Duomension City would have become his slaughterhouse.
Himiko defeating him, by the way. Because again, she did mention that she had a battle with him, right? Himiko defeating this guy is so sick as well.
During the first few years of my journey, I relived that evening every single night in my dreams.
That's
The
so
color of
brutal.
that twilight, painted with blood. So much blood,
Oh my
blended
god,
with
man.
terror and screams.
And as we said, this is so... You would expect this to happen. That's what's so sad about it, too. It's like there's no way you come away from that type of situation, like, unscathed. Like, 110%. And the fact that she's feeling it in this way as well. It's... with the slaughter that happened and what we heard about what happened, it's not surprising, but it still hurts, right? It still hurts to hear.
The victims were twisted like clay
God.
into grotesque shapes. Like paint tubes that had been
Jesus,
snapped,
dude.
one after the other. And that man, he reveled in the colors splattered everywhere and wanted the whole world to be his canvas.
That's so bad. It's horrific. Again, more horrific. Stop dwelling on those memories as well. It's like, yeah, honestly, like it's one of those things where I think she's getting into a trap here in her own mind, right? Where she's reminiscing on this stuff and it's like over and over again. It's like, and again, it's one of those things where sometimes you need to like come to terms with your past, but in this case, it's very clear that like this is a cycle in her head where she's not even in control of like what she's thinking, right? She's just saying exactly what she thought at the time, what she saw, and it's affecting her in a way too.
Even if I could avenge his victims, in the end, it won't bring them back to life.
It's incredibly traumatizing. Like this is like as you said, this is horrific. Like how would you even like come to terms with this ever?
The entire thing is like a heavy piece of baggage. Only by letting it go can I travel the road ahead more easily.
So this has brought back all those memories. She wants to come to terms with this.
You did your best. And I'm glad to see you made it back here safe and sound.
She did more than her best. She stopped him in the end, but like obviously it's one of those things where like, you know, incredibly difficult.
I thought I'd never come back. But the times have changed. The conditions to hold the Phantasmoon Games have been met again. However, to hold 2 games in just 15 years? That in itself is far from normal.
So it's usually something that happens like when there's way more of a distance between those sections, I guess?
Just like 15 years ago, the IPC wants to control everything. However, a game woven by the most fickle of eons is destined to slip through everyone's grasp.
Like, uh-huh?
I received a report from the Department of Aberration Defense. I'm sure she must also have heard.
Yes, we did.
There's been a brutal incident in Dovebrook District. Someone massacred everyone at the headquarters of the Sinwish Syndicate, leaving a signature that only the Herald of Death would use. The Bloody Bloom.
And that's what we're saying. Like this is, it already would be on our mind, but of course, like this stuff happening as well is going to bring everything back to the surface. You know, it's whatever this copycat killer is doing. It's going to affect everything here as well. Whoa, this is the news clipping. A mysterious murder case in which Syndicate members found dead in a pool of blood. Recently, a major homicide occurred in Dovebrook District. A total of 33 members of the Sinwish Syndicate, including boss Paul Wave and a second in command, Costide, were found murdered at the Syndicate's headquarters. Security Bureau suggests that the case appears to be a result in gang war, turf war. Nope. Crime war wave strikes Dovebrook gripped by fear. Regarding these incidents, some residents are applauding the news, claiming the gang activity and seriously disrupting daily life. That's heard. The vast majority of residents are deeply concerned since anyone could be the next victim until the case is closed. 110%. Yeah. Like, as I said, I think I said this last time, how, like, you know, people have a right to be to hate these guys. You know what I mean? They're violent, they're aggressive, all this stuff as well. But not only is the thing where it's like, man, they all got slaughtered, but also it's the thing where, like, that happened on your doorstep. That happened on your doorstep. As of press time, the foot traffic in Dublin Street has plummeted, with many shops reporting declining sales due to the impact of these cases, as would happen. Gang infighting or something more sinister. A shocking murder case has cast a bloody shadow over the newly opened Phantasm Games. Various rumors have added a suspiciously mysterious touch to the incident. Word has it the Sinwish Syndicate recently acquired a supplicant mask. Could this be connected to the massacre that wiped them out? An IPC worker also tragically perished in the incident, but why would an IPC employee be on Sinwish Syndicate turf in the first place? Regarding the above questions, I've already contacted Security Bureau for clarification. The receptionist stated the case is still under investigation. Residents of Plan Arcadia are advised to not believe or spread rumors, to wait further official announcements. Yeah, as this would affect everything.
What? The Herald of Death is still alive.
They're thinking copycat. Is it really the same Herald as before?
People at the Department of Aberration Defense told me that the Herald of Death was executed after his verdict was passed. Even were he to be resurrected, the rules dictate that the same person cannot become a supplicant twice.
Now, that's part of it too, and so like it can't be him in that sense. Ashvale obviously was a bit suspicious that they've even have executed him, which means there is some suspicions there as well.
Are you saying we've got a copycat?
Yeah.
That's right. The Herald of Death has a copycat. But what I find even more worrying is that this Phantasmoon Games has caught the attention of something even more terrifying than the Herald of Death. I believe that whether or not this Herald of Death copycat has a connection to the Phantasmoon Games, defeating him presents an excellent opportunity.
Sorry, guys. I actually ran out of stories here. I missed like 3 minutes, but I can just talk about exactly what happened there in that moment there. Ryosuke basically said that he was overstaying his welcome and left. We just got the scene where Himiko said that it was a situation where, like, if we defeated the Herald of Death, it would, like, mean a lot for the Nameless in terms of their perception in this world. In that moment as well, I agreed, and I saw it said that lines up with what we've been thinking of all the time so far in Plan Arcadia, which is like this thing where, like, this world is based on clicks and likes. Ryosuke said he overstayed his welcome and left. Himiko then said sorry about it being awkward. I told Himiko that it was like my response to that was like, no, it's not awkward, and even if it was awkward, I'd lived through thousands of years of awkwardness just to see her smile once. I thought they handled the scene very well, where they showed that, like, she had this, like, distance but still also had an affection towards her dad, which I think is a very, like, you know, realistic way of portraying this, right? And I think the way they handled the whole scene of, like, her being kind of, like, standoffish but still wanting to, like, talk to her dad and still wanting to see her dad was very well done. So yeah, that's what we missed. And now Stella's talking about something that she believes would be a good thing for the Phantasm Games, or like their goal for the Phantasm Games. But yeah, sorry about that, guys. It just It happens like once every while where like storage just goes. And I do have external storages, but like I just forgot to like save stuff and stuff like that this week. So, yeah. Yeah.
Yes. I told him to head home for now. After all, what is going on with the Phantasmoon games has nothing to do with him. I'm really sorry, everyone, for bringing my personal family matters onto the Express.
Himiko, you've helped us with our personal family stuff all the time. Not even personal family stuff, but personal stuff all the time.
Not at all. Mr. Ryusuke is your family. And that makes him part of our family too. And the most important thing for family is to be together. So he's welcome to drop by anytime.
The thing is, like, as well, with like Himiko's like, this has been a big intentional part of the story, and that's why I think the story is so well written in Honkai Star Rail, is that like it's not me predicting stuff, it's not me being like I'm picking up everything. It's the game just leaving crumbs and me eating the crumbs and following to the trail of crumbs. They from the start of this whole thing, they've shown that like Himiko has always been someone who's supported us, and now this time around she is showing her emotions and getting to shine with her feelings and her story. This is what's happening right now, and I think again they're doing it in such an amazing way where Himiko's like, I'm sorry, but it's like, no, Himiko, you have supported us, and the characters said this themselves. You've supported us so many times too.
Madame Pearl sent a message to the Express just now, inviting our supplicant to a meeting. She'll have a private car waiting for us.
A private car? A meeting with Pearl?
Yes. The meeting won't be held in some stuffy, formal reception room. She would like us to visit and tour the headquarters of a company under her name instead.
Oh, okay, so we're like getting a bit of a fancier deal here.
Himiko, you know about Pearlux Corp, right?
Of course. It's the biggest entertainment conglomerate in Plain Arcadia.
Really good having someone that knows Plain Arcadia here as well.
Entertainment company.
That's right. Pearlux Corp is a titan, dominating the entertainment consumer market, including cartoons, comics, games, toys, and the like. They've cornered half the market.
That's, I guess it's not a monopoly, right? Because it's half the market, but because you will have companies that will like make like multiple different things. Like, you know, there was a time when like, you know, I feel like Fisher Price was like dominating the entire children's toys market when I was a kid and stuff like that as well. When I was a baby. They probably still are, but I remember I was like, I remember Fisher Price stuff from like when I was like a young kid, and maybe it was just like stuff that was hand-me-downs, but still, like it was. I feel like it was a big thing, you know, years and years ago.
Oh, so that's where the Pearl in Pearlux comes
from.
from.
Okay.
It's a play on her name.
Cool.
Did Pearl mention what she wanted to talk about?
She didn't say much, but she specifically mentioned wanting to discuss the developments regarding the Phantasmoon games, and that she could provide us with a bit of help. Okay.
So, more developments in Phantasm games, trying to figure out how she can help us in this time too. Okay. We can have to figure this out.
Helping her opponents in the Eonic game? Oh, looks like she realizes we are all in the same boat. Perhaps she has also realized that the Phantasmoon games cannot be artificially manipulated.
So the idea that we could all be in the same boat as well, and maybe because she realizes that what's happening is very dangerous. But then again, she also gave a master to the Sunrow Hunters, which, like, you know, is probably a sign of doom in some ways. You know, I'm not saying, again, I love the Sunrow Hunters, but I'm saying in terms of the prediction, right? But I guess it's one of those things that maybe you can't stop that aspect of it. But again, it definitely is one of those situations where, like, it could be that we are, like, you know, all in the same boat, especially what happened with the Herald of Death copycat.
We may be able to get a clearer picture of Pearl's intentions after we meet with her.
Sure. You're really going to have me meet with Pearl? Stella looks so upset about this.
Think about it. You've already crossed paths with key figures from numerous factions.
True.
And even built rapport with some.
True.
You're already a capable nameless who can more than hold your own.
Yeah. I love that she's saying this, because again, this is why Himiko is the backbone of this whole place, right? The fact she mentions something that's exactly true. It's like, we've met, like, Aglaya, Finon, Kokolia, we've met Jingliu, it's not Jingliu, Jin Yuen. We have met Jingliu as well. Jin Yuen. Have we met? I don't think we have met Jingliu. We haven't, actually. No, we haven't. We've met, you know, IPC representatives. Like, we have done this, and while it's still awkward and while it's still frustrating, we've done it before. You know what I mean?
Though she holds a high administrative position on this planet, do not forget, she is also one of the 10 Stonehearts. You've already dealt with Aventurine on numerous occasions, So you should have ample experience handling members of the 10 Stonehearts.
Yeah, like I think what Himiko's saying is perfectly fine and it makes more than sense. More than sense.
Hey, don't worry. If things do get messy, yours truly is here to save the
Hell
day.
yeah, March here to protect us, our bodyguard.
Looks like March wants to visit too.
I'd love for March to come along, and Dunhong as well.
I'm just trying to look out for her here.
Always.
Even if things do go sideways, Pearl wouldn't dare get mad at two adorable
True.
young ladies like us.
How could ya?
right?
How could ya? Look at the two of them.
Well then.
Impossible.
I'll leave this meeting to you two.
That's lovely. Okay, that's awesome. And again, that confidence is so amazing too. For Himiko not to be like, okay, we'll go with you, which again would have been fine too, but Himiko to be like, hey, you got this. That's such a great vote of confidence. It really is. The same way Don Hong is going off at Sunday, like doing his stuff as well. It's like Himiko is giving us these, and that's why she's our leader, right? And I want to make it clear, I think Welt is also like technically a leader, but obviously we would say now at this point Himiko is like the leader, right? But we go to Welt and Himiko for things all the time, but like I would say Himiko is like our like, well, she's the like navigator, right? But she's leader to me.
Aren't you coming with us, Himeko?
I'd like to talk with my father.
Okay.
Didn't he say he would hand over the records about the Phantasm Moon games from our family history
She's
to
so
me?
pretty, man.
And honestly, isn't this a good chance for you
Yes.
youngsters to handle
I
things
actually
independently?
think this is awesome. I actually think this is such a good idea. Because already they've been, like, what Don Hong and March and Cell did in Euphorius is already insane. Like, while it can still feel like other things can still be daunting, right? Because I hate that thing where it's like, oh, you've been through this, you can do that. No, of course things are going to be daunting. But I think Himiko's doing the right thing by throwing, like, but not throwing him in the deep end, by like, actually throwing him in the deep end, but instead of throwing him, it's like, almost like guiding him in and being like, hey, you've been in this deep end before. Swim. You know?
I understand. In that case, she, March, and I will be heading out now.
So we're going with Welt. Okay, that's fine too.
Oh, score! A private car! So, where are we getting picked up?
That's interesting though then, because I thought there was like, it was a thing where like they were saying like, okay, Stella and March are going to go by themselves. It's interesting that like they, I guess oh no, I get why. I think it's one of those things where they're like, hey, well, I understand what they're saying here. And again, it is still a good thing for Stella and March to be able to do this as well with Welt is also too. Himiko is someone who lives here then, I guess, as well, because it would have been like someone who like has like, I don't know, maybe negotiation tactics and stuff like this as well. But I still think it's a good thing for Stella and March to go off, even if it's like with Welt. But I thought it was going to be by themselves. I generally thought it was going to be by themselves, so that's my bad. But having Welt there is like a big confidence boost as well.
You should be familiar with it. It's just under the giant gate next to the At Plaza.
Isn't that where we first met Sparksy? Since we're getting chauffeured there, why not just come straight to us?
Is this the perfect chance to do some shopping? Let's go.
Perfect! I've been wanting to stop by the comic store to grab a copy of Fluffy Across the Blue.
Anything you want, March. My bodyguard. Okay. So this is great, right? I think the writing has been so perfect in terms of as I said, I can't wait to show more Himiko stuff. And again, Himiko's going to have to talk to her dad as well, which is so important as well. And I think it's gonna be so good for her as well. As I said, like if she said I don't want to talk to him right now, I'd be like, yeah, that's great too. That's what you need right now. But she feels like she wants to go talk to him. That means that we support her in that moment as well. Of course, 100%.
There may be some information in the family records that could help us. It's just that whenever I think about talking with my father, I can't help feeling uneasy.
So normal. That's not the Himiko we see very often. Of course it's not, but again, it's such a normal thing for her to be like, it'd be weird if she wasn't a bit like weary about it, right?
Even someone like me, who's always putting on a composed front, can end up giving everyone a laugh. When you think about it like that, the meeting with Pearl doesn't seem so scary now, does it?
Yeah, like 110%. It's and like I love that they're showing that. I don't love that she's like uneasy and she's upset and that she's like, you know, has trauma. That sounds, you know, I always say that because when I'm like, I love that this is happening. I mean, in terms of his story writing, I love that they're showing off Himiko's like more like this side of her, that she's becoming like a character at the forefront. And they're using the fact that she's been such a beautifully impactful character in support of all of us as a way to show her like, hey, we have to support her now as well. And not only that, but now she's in the forefront in her story with her father as well. I think they've done such a master. It's great. And you can feel it from the start of Planet Arcadia. And it's just building and building and building. It's great stuff.
Destination Perlux headquarters. And let's grab a copy of the Fluffy while we're at it. Aw, this is just perfect.
It sounds so fun. Again, like a shopping date with March is like the most perfect day out ever. Like, it sounds so fun.
We'll head out when you're ready.
So I guess you just have to go as well. Jay, what do you think? Honestly, when we go out to Pearl together... No, you're not coming with us. Oh. Yeah, can I not just, like, sit in on a meeting? No, am I not Astro Express? Can I ask a question? Is her being here stopping other people from visiting the Astro Express, or are people going to be in here if I go in here? Because she's the only one who visits. Like, is it because she's part of a quest or something like that? Like, because I feel like she's the only person who visits now. When we have I wonder if it's just because like there's some glitch or something, but like I never see anyone but Jade now.
Dear nameless,
Which is partially upsetting because like we could have Sparksy here, man. We could have freaking Yaguan here. And I wonder if it is like something to do with a quest. Is it a glitch or something? Because I have not had, or there's like blue quests. I've not had anyone but Jade here in a long time. You know? Love this location, man. It's so great to be back in this bright area.
There's a convenience store. Mind if I grab a copy of Fluffy Across the Blue while we're waiting?
Of course.
Is that the comic based on the Express's adventures? The author sure knows how to tap into what's trending.
The best part is that the author drew all of us as adorable little animals. Totally fits our personas, don't you think?
I love the excitement about this as well. You're super adorable, March Bunny.
Right back at ya, baseball
I love their
raccoon.
friendship so much. It's just the two of them calling each other cute and pretty all the time. I know they make jokes at each other's expense as well, like Stella will say something about March. But like the majority of their relationship is the two of them just looking at each other going, you're cute. You're cute. No, you're cute.
In fact,
it's lovely.
It was recently announced that the Fluffy is getting an animated adaptation, and the copyright for it is currently held by Pearlux Corp.
That would make sense, I guess, with the same thing they've been saying before as well.
It's a super memorable comic. No way can I miss getting a copy while I'm here. I promise I won't be long. A couple of minutes, tops.
We'll get it. Yeah, don't worry about it.
Looks like we got here on the early side. Since coming to this world, I still haven't had a chance to get a street-level view of the city. How about this? We'll meet up under the ad at the Plaza Gate in a few minutes.
All right. Sounds like a plan.
Might as well take a look around then.
Yeah. I know, I loved again, it feels very real to me and really fun to me that March is like, I get to like see there's Asheville over there, by the way.
Absolutely insane. Did you see the post I shared?
You can see Asheville from a distance there as well. But yeah, like, I love that just like, it's something so simple, but just Mark just wanting a comic book makes, again, not only the characters feel once again just real, they always feel so real, right? It's just like, of course, it's like, hey, on the way, can we get something? You know, can we get, how we've always been like, have you ever been like, you know, in a workplace, for example, it's like I've had that so many times where like, you know, you have to go out and do like a on route trip to get something and you're like, should we stop for coffee on the way back? Yeah, sure. You know, it's something so simple. It's like, hey, I want to get this thing for later. I'm going to get this now. Yeah. It's like, oh, yeah, we can get it now, you know, and then we go back to work or whatever, you know? I feel like it's such a normal thing. It's such a real thing as well. You can see March over there as well. This is so fun. And again, after everything that happened last time, coming back into this beautiful, like, Plan Arcadia is such a great thing as well. I'm having the time of life with this, guys. This is one of my favorite things ever, this whole region.
Hey, you hear the news? There was a supplicant battle at Graphia Academy.
Oh yeah, people are talking about it.
Yeah, I saw it. The online forums are already blowing up.
The supplicant called Sparksy. How terrifying! Actually using live streams to spread mimetic viruses. Eons, that's just evil! I can't believe the Department of Aberration Defense is letting someone that dangerous run loose!
I mean, that is the way the story is, right? Because while we see Sparksy's kind of funnier now, like as we talked about last time, it's a serious thing. It's very terrifying.
I heard her live stream got permabanned.
Wow.
Good thing that Nameless from the Astral Express acted so quickly.
She's gonna be streaming on Kick in 2 days.
I wonder what the next supplicant will do.
She's gonna find a different platform tomorrow. But no, like, yeah, I love that we're hearing them talk about it. It makes sense. And the way that Himiko talks, because when Himiko was talking, saying, hey, you're going by yourself, I think that, like, my assessment, and I am always okay with, like, saying my assessment of stuff is wrong. I think, like, my assessment of Welt was definitely wrong in some ways. Not that he isn't someone who's supportive and is a veteran and is so good at, like, being a supportive figure and a dad in our lives. That's all true. That's all true. But I think like I always like, you know, saw him as like a vice president to Himiko's president type of thing. But I think it's like he is just like another member of the Express as well. He has his own job as well, of course, but like she is like the navigator. So when she says, hey, you have to go off do it by yourself, she's not just talking about Stell and Marge, she's talking about Welt as well, where it's like, hey, yeah, like you don't need me for this mission. I think it's honestly really interesting because he is a veteran. He is like our dad. He is so helpful for us too. But like, I think I always have to get in that mindset too, where it's like he's not like a vice president, right? He's an Astro Express member, and Himiko was like the navigator. Again, I always saw Himiko as the leader, but I want to make it clear, as you guys know, you know the way I talk about Himiko, like she is my leader. But I think it's interesting how like we have different perceptions, right? For sure. Of different characters.
Have you read the new chapter of Fluffy Across the Blue?
Can you guys move?
What happened in the newest issue?
Move along. Let it march in.
I've tried buying a copy of the Fluffy from a couple of stores, but they were always sold out. I really hope this store has it in stock.
Can you guys move? We're all equal here. We're all look behind you. Oh, she is cute. She is really cute. She's adorable. Yeah, she's really adorable. You want to go home? I've been waiting here for years. It's for my son. He needs it. He needs it. He needs it bad. Look back there. Oh, she's adorable. She is, isn't she? Yeah. Okay, I think about it. Okay. I already saw her. She's very adorable. I'll think about it. Okay. You too. Your outfit's kind of adorable too, so we're gonna have a fight about this. March, we're getting you that comic book. Don't worry about it.
Have you read the new chapter of Fluffy Across the Blue?
Sorry, I'm not into comics for kids.
Hey!
They just released the official concept art for that giant pom-pom robot!
That mech design is totally unrealistic. What's so great about it?
But you know mech designs, I guess?
Do you have the slightest clue how to talk to other people? Do you?
Hey, relax. Now, if we were talking about a fusion between Daybreak Squadron and the Raccoon, that would totally get my attention.
See, that's what I'm saying. It's like everyone has like their own like things that they like that are like, you know, like what other people consider to be childish, right?
Wow, you are unbelievably childish.
It's like the way like people who come home, and there's nothing wrong with this, by the way. When people come home and they watch TV all day, and those people will be like, people who play video games all day are so childish. Like, what the hell? There's a little dog by the road. Why does it have a silhouette looks familiar? That's a quest as well. But like, you know, it's like
Hello
people
there.
be like,
would you like to learn more about the Research Society of Happy Smiles?
I'm good.
Are there any charges or fees?
Oh, yeah, especially what happened to Asheville last time when he was like being way more serious.
Isn't that Detective Passerby? What's he doing here?
But yeah, I was gonna say, like, you know, people go like, video games are for kids, and then like it's like they sit at home watching TV all day, and it's like, or they say video games are a waste of time. It's like you're watching TV all day, which is not wrong with that either. I like watching YouTube videos, but it's like, what's the difference really? And it's like, or when people go like, man, you're watching anime, it's so childish, and it's like look what you're watching here. And it's like, a lot of anime has like way deeper themes than like a lot of like live action shows, and then you watch the live action show, and when someone says like, oh, anime's so childish, and you watch the show that they're like is their favorite show, and it's like a show where it's like, we gotta hack the mainframe, the president's been shot, and you're like, is this deeper? You know, and again, I'm gonna stop pretentious saying it because like I'm only pretentious with this because people are pretentious about like stuff. If there's pretentious about stuff I like, I have no problem with people watching what they want to watch. I watch stuff that people receive as silly all the time too, and they're probably very right? They're probably very accurate in saying this stuff is kind of silly, 110% right. But like, you know, don't judge people if you're not prepared to be judged. That's the way I look at it. You know, don't throw stones into the glass house.
Is the weight of work and stress in your life crushing you? Check out the Research Society of Happy Smiles.
Oh no, Asheville.
So,
Asheville, no. If we get to know Asheville more here, this would be really fun.
Rest assured, the only thing joining our Research Society will cost you is a bit of your precious
That
time.
is a terrifying thing to say as well, because that means it's going to cost way more than we think.
We've set up a venue near Dovebrook, where we offer free psychological counseling and living assistance to all visitors. All our services are provided free of charge.
That's even more worrying.
I had a friend who passed away.
Asheville.
And he mentioned you before. He told me that if I ever ran into trouble, the kind people at the Research Society would help me.
Is he actually believing this?
Your friend passed away? How terribly sad. But the words he left you have illuminated your path in life.
He told me that if I joined the Research Society of Happy Smiles, I could get rid of my suffering forever and be eternally happy. Is that true?
Is he actually buying into this, or is this? Do you think this might be him like playing it up a bit? Because again, I think I've become so like, you know, used to like say sparkle that like, when I'm on the planet of Elation, I'm like, is this real? Is this true?
Of course it's true. Just look at the society we live in. Everyone's suspicious and dismissive of one another, and willing to take dangerous risks just for a little pleasure, for a thrill.
Because I thought maybe he's investigating what happened and trying to like get it, maybe follow some leads. But if he actually is upset, I'm gonna be so upset, man.
Did you hear about
I mean, he's upset. I know he is.
Graphia Academy and was trying to spread a memetic virus through the internet? And over in Duffbrook, gang violence erupted and left a pile of corpses in its wake. Oh, may the Master of Elation save us all. The Research Society was founded with the sole purpose of healing humanity's incurable inner pain. Following Aha's creed, we aim to spread laughter across the mortal coil and eliminate all suffering.
Again, this sounds terrifying. Yeah, what does that mean?
Exactly what it says. As an eraser wipes away the doodles of a pencil, so too shall the pain be wiped away.
It's just not the way to put it. Like, it sounds, you know, if it's too good to be true, usually it is.
Have either of you heard about the tragedy of the blood-stained games
Yes.
15 years ago?
Imagine bringing it up when you're trying to be a happy recruiter. I've heard of it.
Why, of course you have. You're the Astral Express's superstar. You've even dug up everything there is to know about something that happened over a decade ago.
Wait, this guy knows a lot. This guy knows maybe too much.
There was an awful accident during the last Phantom Moon games, and many people lost their loved ones and children. It was as if a hole that could never be filled had been drilled into their hearts, leaving only sorrow to accompany them for the rest of their lives.
Right, and yeah, no, this does sound horrible. It was horrible.
To escape their suffering, these people who had lost their loved ones gathered together and established a mutual support association. This was the Research Society of Happy Smiles' predecessor.
So there was something came before this?
It's now been well over a decade, and the Research Society continues to help more and more people emerge from the darkness in their lives and step into a brighter, happier future. Come to think of it, it would be most wonderful if a distinguished person like yourself were also interested in our Research Society. Should you find yourself with a moment to spare, please come and visit our Mutual Aid Society.
Okay.
Well, if it isn't the Astral Express's superstar, of course it's you. Looks like we really were bound to run into each other.
Is it really a thing here? It's like, because again, I don't want to ever be, and you guys know I never like this, like where I'm like, you know, like I don't mind being naive about being caught out by things, and you know, like as I said, like I'll always like treat people like with respect, but like I think it's like 100% also okay for me to, for the split second, be like, was he exactly serious in his moment? Because I know he's upset. I know he genuinely is upset. And maybe like they're playing into the bumbling aspect too, but like I think as I'm getting to know people, I'm like, what? Like, is he just trying to follow some leads? You know? I think that's probably a proof that Plan Arcadia is probably working. The fact that like I'm sitting here questioning, like, being like accepting that if this is sincere, I want to be there for like people who are upset by this stuff, but also I think at the same time too being like, what's happening? Detective Passerby, what are you doing?
I'm here to do my job. Problem is,
there we go.
You've gone and messed up my investigation.
That's what I'm talking about. I feel like it's like one of those things like, we got the vibe. I think you got the vibe too. Like, we didn't know him as a character, so I was like, is it? But like, yeah, okay, that makes you feel so much better. Because I was going to be so sad if I like, you know, because I never would like to be like demeaning to someone's like, you know, way they're coping, even if it's like not probably healthy for them. Like, I want to like, you know, I'd like to help them rather than, you know, be demeaning. And I didn't want to be like, oh, he's being insincere. But I felt like in that moment, like, I felt like there was a little bit of like, it's very extreme for Ashfield not to know about this society, you know what I mean? And like, then also like, it felt like he was being a bit theatrical. I don't know. I'm glad that we kind of like picked up on that a bit, you know? How to manage that?
Here I was, pretending to be a broke passerby to infiltrate this shady research society. You should have ignored me, but no, you acted like some approachable celebrity waltzing into a supermarket, hijacking my conversation with their recruiter.
I picked up on that, and again, I'm not trying to say like I picked up, but it's like, because again, like I feel like they made it kind of like more apparent, but obviously I didn't know Asheville as well, so I was also worried that he could be serious. You know what I mean?
Yeah, with a star like you here, I can't even test the waters anymore. You must have heard about the Sinwish Syndicate killings in Dovebrook, right? The lead I'm following might be connected to this research
serious?
society of
I mean, that
Happy
makes sense if you're
Smiles.
researching them.
But I'll stop there. Not like you're going to pay for my intel, and none of this is any of your business anyway.
Someone I knew died in that incident. Yeah, we knew Scott, I guess, as well, but also, like, it's also... I think it still affects us because it's related to, like, Himiko's past. It's also something that Himiko wants us to, like, kind of solve as well. But I guess he's thinking it could be connected to the research of Happy Smiles then.
Based on your social circle, you wouldn't be talking about the poor IPC sap who was unlucky enough to be there.
That is kind of, yes, who we're talking about.
Planning to avenge him?
I am, maybe. I'm planning to defeat the Herald of Death. That counts as... Yeah, like, that's what we're planning on doing. That's what Himiko wants us to go, or wants us to be on the path to do, I suppose.
Oh. So your next miracle will be executing the Herald of Death. Can't say I'm surprised.
Be careful. The murderer is the Herald of Death. He's dangerous.
So the way Asheville said this, he said, your next miracle will be executing the Herald of Death. So is he saying that, like, oh, it's like something that could be like it's impossible because he was already executed, I guess?
Oh, thanks for your concern. Oh, be careful. Been a hot minute since anyone said that to me. Even so, it's my duty to solve the case. Doesn't matter if nobody pays me. I'll still find the killer and exact justice on the spot.
We've already said it, but I love the side of Asheville as well. I love the bumbling kind of silly cop we've seen so far and detective we've seen so far, but I also like really love that they're also showing like why he's also maybe like respected too, because when he needs to get the job done, he gets it done. And we saw that from his office even.
Because one of the victims happened to be someone I was on fairly good terms with.
Yeah, no, that makes so much sense as well for him to play, for this to jump him into action as well. Not this, I know it's a horrible time to say this, but like his design is so cool. Like it's one of those designs where like it's not like I would choose it for like my character, but like it's memorable. It's one of those characters like in a JRPG that like forever when you're growing up you draw every 2 minutes. You know, when you get a spare minute, you know.
Revenge killings or turf wars. Wouldn't be unusual for gang members to die like that, but dying at the hands of some psycho who kills for kicks, that I can't accept.
The anger and the bitterness in his voice, he's very frustrated. And again, also as you said too, it's like it's a real complicated character, right? The idea that he's saying like, yeah, like gang stuff happens all the time, and that's why people were kind of like being flippant about it. Even the newspaper, it's like, oh, it's a gang violence thing, whatever. But like, it's the fact that like this is a psycho who killed people, killed his friend, will kill again, possibly. You can't just let this slide. I know it sounds horrible to say like, oh, I'd let just, you know, gang violence fly, but like in a lot of parts of the world, especially more dangerous parts of the world, that's what happens. A lot of times they see it as just like, oh, two rival gangs killing each other. If we can catch them, we can, but if not, we have to see this as just like something that's not going to affect like the quote unquote general public. In a lot of ways, it's horrible, but it's just, yeah. I love the deepness his voice got here as well. You can tell this is affecting him greatly.
No matter where you are in the cosmos, which era, regardless of how civilization evolves,
man, his voice.
Some rules will just never change.
And again, it makes sense. It's affecting him. It's affecting him.
Like an eye for an eye, a tooth for a tooth.
Yeah, man. The first time I ever heard that was in Powerpuff Girls, and again, it's like an eye for an eye makes the whole world blind, right? That's the way they phrase it too. Like, because again, it's like they say like violence begets more violence. But honestly, sometimes it's one of those situations where in this case, it's like this person needs to be taken down. It's not a situation where it's like, oh, like we're going to create more violence. Like in this case, it needs to be taken down. But Asheville is like very torn up about this. And it's not surprising. But again, I love they're adding like a lot of depth to his character so early. You know, they'll add a lot of frustrations to his character. His voice is getting deeper. It makes you want to like figure out more about him as well, you know?
Hey, guess
which lucky girl just managed to snag the last copy in the whole
Hell yeah.
store. Who's this?
This is detective we know. No, that's awesome. I'm so glad you got the comic book.
Allow me to introduce myself. I'm Ashvale, the famous detective. You could say your friend and I are acquainted through past clashes.
That's definitely one way to put it. We didn't actually fight though. We almost did, but Sampo helped us escape. Which again, that's so interesting. I love that dynamic. The fact the last time we saw each other was when we were in that vault and he was trying to stop us, and now of course like we can just, in very Honkai Star Rail fashion, not in an unrealistic way, we go back to kind of being like, let's just chat, because again everything's over, everything's subsided, like it's not like we can arrest you right now. I love that type of stuff. I love that the guy that we just had to escape from, like, you know, an hour ago or a day ago is now the person we're chatting with in the street, you know?
We did have a bit of a clash of opinions back at the tavern, did we not?
That's what you meant by clash? Fair enough.
Okay.
First time I've ever heard anyone introduce themselves as a famous detective.
Yeah, it kind of like sets up what Ashvale thinks about himself, I suppose.
Mr. Ashvale? Why are you staring
Yeah, what's
at
happening?
me? Is there something weird on my face?
Young lady.
Oh my
you
god.
have a copy of Fluffy Across the Blue, right? Would you mind
No,
giving it to
that's
me?
hers. That's hers. But again, it's like that dynamic of Ashville, which is like he's also just like this kind of bubbling, adorable like dude as well. You know, he's getting more aggressive, but he also has like a very big soft side.
Well, give it to you. This was the last copy in the store, you know.
And you just asked for it plainly. Can I have it?
Oh, I see. Of course. I'm not asking you to give it away for free. I'll pay for it. The retail price is 300 credits. I can pay you 10 times sticker price. 3,000 credits. What do you say?
Maybe it's just because we get so much credits like in the actual mechanics of the game. That seems very low, but...
Hey, mister, this isn't about the money.
Yeah, that's March's comic book.
Because it was the last one on the shelves. True. The last item in stock is like the final slice of cake on the plate. The last prey animal on the plains never fails to stir our urge to seize it before anyone else. So...
This is what's so funny about him. Like, again, he was like so serious, and he was serious about the stuff with the Herald of Death, but this is also a part of Ashvale, which is this type of stuff here. Him talking about like the last comic book shelf, like it is like this like really like deep and personal thing. It's like it's something to be analyzed, you know?
30,000
Oh my
credits.
god, Ashvale.
How about that? That's my final offer. I'm not exactly rolling in money here.
This is so funny. Why are you fighting over a comic book with the kid? Aren't you a bit too old for stuff like this?
Truth is, I'm actually buying it for that foolish friend of mine. The one who died.
Oh, that's kind of rough.
Today is his farewell ceremony. I thought I'd buy him his favorite comic to pay my respects.
But that's also like, but then do we believe this full? And again, I don't think he'd lie about his friend, but like March still deserves her comic book. You know what I mean?
He'd always be rambling on about some raccoon with a baseball bat and how the journey of the express would never end. That kind of stuff. I heard those stories so many times. It felt like my ears were gonna fall off. But after all that fuss, I completely missed the chance to buy it. Every store around here is sold out.
That's enough.
No, March.
My poor little heart can't handle
I
sob
know.
stories like that. Here, Mr. Ashvale, take the comic.
She's such a sweetheart. Honestly, she's such a sweetheart.
Oh, thank you very much for the comic, young lady. Here's the 30,000 credits. Ooh, as
I'm
promised.
sorry, but again, I knew as soon as March heard that story, there was nothing going to stop March from giving that comic book away 110%. She's actually just such a sweetheart.
Oh, I heard you're the real-life inspirations for the characters. Since you're here, could I perhaps trouble you to sign it?
Do you think it's for him? Do you think it's actually for him?
Unbelievable.
It is for him, isn't it? It is for him.
Aww.
Sign, or maybe, okay, who knows? Maybe, let's give it the benefit of the doubt, right? Sign Stell. Sure, let's sign it.
Thank you both. If Kostad could see this from where he is now, I'm sure he'd be smiling down on us. As a token of my gratitude, I'd like to give you a friendly word of caution, little girl. I know you plan to target the Herald of Death and cement your heroic image.
Okay.
However, all eyes will be on you during the Phantom Moon Games. On such a public stage, discretion would be wise.
Fair enough.
Because when the masses see your magnificent miracles and wield your extraordinary power, fear and jealousy could turn their wish power into wish you ill power at the drop of a hat.
Interesting, Ashvale.
Forgive the expression, but you get what I mean.
That's so interesting. So he's saying that, like, the idea of if people see what we're able to do, while, like, it could gain us garner support and garner people, like, loving us and thinking we're amazing, if, like, we're too powerful, and if we, like, destroy these guys and we're able to, like, show them what we can do, it can turn into, as he said, fear and jealousy, which I guess would be for other supplicants, maybe, or people looking for attention, being like, why are they getting all the attention? I gotta do something about this. Fear being like, oh my god, they're too powerful. What if they then decide to attack us? You know what I mean, as well. He's talking about the human condition and how it can, like, change at the drop of a dime, really, when it comes to, like, seeing something that they don't understand and something that's too powerful or something they believe to be too strong.
So, whatever plans you might have for this Herald of Death, why not leave the whole messy affair of revenge to someone who couldn't care less about winning or losing? Like me.
Man, and again, I believe he genuinely is being like, I have nothing to lose. Like, you have everything to gain, and you have everything to lose, and I have nothing to lose. Not that he doesn't have a reputable business, but he's saying, like, dude, I don't care about if I lose in this competition. I don't care if, like, I don't get popular. Like, I'm here to solve this. That's what I'm doing. And he's like, leave it to me.
Just like this comic, I'm dead set on getting him.
You're a supplicant? Oh, yes.
Is he an acquaintance of yours?
That's actually, he's also supplicant too. So again, do you think I'm not reading as this, like, where he's saying that, like, he's going to be the one wishing us ill will. I don't think that, but I think he's just trying to show, like, his experience with Plan Arcadia in a lot of ways too, and how they, like, maybe can turn on you in an instant in that way also. But I do believe his determination to stop this Herald of Death. Of course you do. Like, his passion about this is so real. Even if you don't, like, believe the comic book thing fully 100%, he is 100% hell-bent on, like, stopping this guy.
He's just some weird detective who was passing by.
It's nearly time for Perlux Corp to pick us up.
I cannot believe March gave up her comic book. Yeah. Guys, this would be, like, a good place to end this first video, I feel like. And we'll come back in the next one with more... first video of this act, and come back in the next one with more of Plan Arcadia as well. I believe I'm not sure if we'll be doing 3 Plan Arcadia videos this week, but we'll see if we are. If we are, we are. If we're not, you'll know by the time it's Friday anyway, if we are doing 3 Plan Arcadia videos. Possibly, maybe, who knows what it could be. But we'll see. It could be 3, it could be whatever. We'll see how it goes. I said we'll see how it goes, okay? Hey, I said we'll see how it goes. Don't look at me like that. No. I'm not going to give any promises, but you will know if there's a video on Friday tomorrow. That there is, like you will know. And actually, if there is one, I can put it in, like, the actual edit of this video, maybe, or even in the comments, and be like, hey, there will be a video tomorrow. Because, guys, I said we would do 3 videos every once in a while, and as we're going into, like, you know, the Genshin's going to be picking up as well. It's one of those things where, like, we won't have time a lot of times to do 3 videos, but we'll be doing whenever we can as well. Let us go back to the Astro Express and talk about all the stuff that's happening here today. This episode was really, like, strange for me because I feel like it was very, like, strong with, like, heavy emotions. I was so worried. And again, this is probably, like, very unfair on this game, and we'll talk about it now in a second as well. Boop. This is probably very unfair on Honkai Star Rail because they don't deserve what I'm about to say here. I think it doesn't matter how good of a game you are. When it comes to familial drama, there can always be something that pisses you off, right? Because it's not because, like, any, like, family drama I have, but because, like, we've all understood it from, like, friends or people that we've seen in media and all this stuff as well, and we all have opinions on this stuff as well. And I think that, like, you know, no matter how good your writing is, when it comes to very, like, stuff that can feel very, like, related to real life, which Honkai Star Rail does a lot too, I think they do that really well. And that's why I'm saying I don't think they deserve, like, this assessment that I had here, which was like, I was so worried that maybe it was going to be written in a way that was going to be like, oh God, like, they're not caring about Himiko's feelings. And I want to apologize to Honkai Star Rail because, like I think it's just because it's those type of stories can, in media, oftentimes are portrayed, even in the best games possible. I played some games that are some of my favorite games of all time that will have those stories about familial stuff, and it makes it, like, so, they do it in a way that makes it feel so, like, not unrealistic, but, like, so painful to watch, because it's like, oh, no, you're not caring about the child's feelings as much, you're not caring about this as much, and it can be, even in the best stories, because it is family stuff. And that stuff can be portrayed in a way that can be very, like, dicey. But I want to apologize to Honkai Star Rail because I had this perception of worry of being like, as soon as they did the whole thing of, like, let's go to the Astro Express, I did have a feeling in my heart of, like, is this gonna be a thing where, like, they don't look after Himiko's feelings as much? And while I have, as I said, I have the utmost trust in Honkai Star Rail to write amazing stories. It doesn't matter how amazing your story is. Every single, like, time, there's been amazing shows, amazing games that have gone to a stage where they write something where it's like, it feels just, like, so wrong, you know, when it comes to, like, family troubles like that. And for me, it's one of those things where, like, almost like within 20 minutes of me being like, I'm very worried about how they're writing this, almost within 20 minutes, what happens? It's like, oh no, like, of course. It's of course, right? Like, and I should just, like, always go with, like, what I always believe, and I always say, which is, like, I trust Honkai Star Rail. And I feel like what's happened here today is that, like, my trust in them that was already there has emboldened for me to allow for me to, like, even in situations where it's very dicey and very, like, oh, how are they going to write this? My trust is emboldened and grew 12 sizes today, where I've gone from being like, I trust them to write a really incredible story to be like, I trust them 100% with every aspect. And that, to me, it came across as maybe a thing where it's like me being a bit unfair with my not lack of trust, but, like, worry. But now I feel like the lack of worry, the worry for a second, the worry for 20 minutes, or worry for 10 minutes has led to my trust in Honkai Star Rail being even stronger. And I think that's the way I'm going to look at it, right? And I think the reason why I'm saying this is because the story between Himiko and her dad is a complicated one. It's very complicated. And the reason why it's so complicated is that there is a situation here where, like, the dad is not an evil person, right? This isn't a situation where, like, the dad is, like, a horrid person whatsoever. So writing him as a horrid person isn't what I would want here either, right? But I think that what Honkai Star Rail did really amazing here is that they respected Himiko's feelings. They respected her boundaries. Even in the moment where we brought the father onto the express, the father expressed, I'm sorry, it's my fault, I shouldn't have come here, it's a bit awkward, I'm so sorry. But then Himiko was like, no, it's good you're here, because I think Himiko kind of, like, wanted to rip the band-aid off a little bit and kind of, like, talk to him. But I think that's what's so well done about this, is that they acknowledge Himiko's boundaries. They acknowledge that they might have, like, overstepped them a little bit. The dad might have stepped them. Then Himiko smoothed over, saying, like, you know, like, I still want to talk. We can talk over here. She's being distant while also still opening herself up a little bit emotionally. They handled this perfectly. They handled this so well by showing the frustrations that Himiko should have, and it's understandable that she has, while also still at the same time too having her still be fair when it comes to her father. And I think that's honestly, like, the best way to talk about her, I think, as well, is that I'm very, very happy with the way that they've expressed this and the way they've done this. I think they've done an amazing job with this. And it's hard to watch, obviously. It's one of those things where, like, from Himiko's perspective, her dad was never with her when she was suffering through the weathering curse. When the stuff was happening with the supplicant stuff, she felt like her dad wasn't even around her either when she was fighting against the Herald of Death. She didn't meet her father. And again, I want to be clear, this isn't absolve the dad of being, like, you know, bad in some cases, not seeing her daughter. But I guess am I to believe that maybe, like, he wasn't there until the mother died because he was also trying to find a cure then. But still, even trying to find a cure, I still think it's 100% understandable for Himiko to be upset with her father not being there, right? And not giving a proper explanation of why he's doing this, right? Because again, that's the problem. Because even if you're doing something that's like, well, I worked all day for you, right? I worked all day, every day for you as well. That's an understandable reason why you can't always spend time with your kids, right? Especially when you're short on money. But still, you have to understand that your kids will remember that when they're older. And it's harsh and it's difficult, but it's the truth. Your kids will remember when they're older, okay, my dad wasn't with me at this time. He wasn't with me at this time. And the whole thing of like, well, I was working all the time, that might even like drive a knife even further into their heart, where it's like, I understand you did that, but it's like also at the same time too, it's like, I still have these feelings. And I think what they did here by having Himiko respond in a very formal way, trying to keep her distance from her dad, but then as soon as her dad made the joke about like, you know, the comic book, having her laugh a bit, showed that she is still like wanting to like talk to her dad. That's her dad, of course. And as I said, like when I was trying to be like, you know, we should ask him to go first to be, and I stand by that, we should ask him to go first to go on the Astro Express. We should, like, you know, if she wanted to not talk to him right now, we shouldn't talk to him. I stand by that as well. But it's also a thing as well where I was always ready for, like, if Himiko wants to talk to him, if Himiko wants to feel this way, if this is better for Himiko, then we support that as well. And I think that's why, again, as I said, they did this so well and why I trust this game so much. So the fact that they were able to express this story that can be very tricky, very finicky, and very hard to deal with in a way that was actually done very masterfully, so that respected Himiko while also still respecting her dad's story as well. They did a really good job of this. And as I said, it's not me sitting here saying that, like, I'm saying that, oh, like, it's a, you know, oh, like, you know, he's the greatest dude of all time and she should just talk to him. That's not what I'm saying here. There clearly were problems. Very real problems that were felt by Himiko. Distant problems. But what I'm saying is, I think it's also, like, a very realistic story to have Himiko still want to kind of, like, talk to him a little bit, still want to, like, be to express something to him, but while also still keeping her distance. I think that's perfect. I think it's a perfect way they did this as well. And it's also, like, once again, like, a very heartbreaking and interesting story, because once again we have, like, more insight into what Himiko was doing, this weathering curse that she had, this isolation she had. And also I think this isolation she felt from her dad is probably one of the big reasons why she is so on point and so attentive when it comes to the people of the Astro Express, to Dan Heng, to March, to Sel, even to Welt. She is so supportive and make sure she's there in all these moments when they need something. She's there to talk about this, and I genuinely believe that's because she felt like she didn't have that support system growing up. I genuinely believe that's a part of it. And again, you can say, well, she's just a nice person, you know, there's nice people who have support systems that become nice too, but again, I do think it is also, like, there's probably an element of, like, I know what not to do, you know what I mean? And again, it's not me condemning her dad to be evil. That's not what it's ever been. It's me supporting Himiko in every single aspect. But yeah, to put a full stop in that, the way they handled those scenes, 100% trust. I think Himiko's dad is such an interesting character. I think the way they show the harrowing situations of the past and show that Himiko's going through, once again, is showing off, like, her character in such a different light. You could see the trauma that she was facing, the frustrations, the anger, the pain as she recited this stuff. Her breath is shorter. Her voice is more stagnated. She's definitely being affected by everything that has happened. And of course she would be. It's a traumatizing and horrible situation. You would be surprised if she wasn't. And the fact that even when we said stop, she kept going, because again, her reciting this is like, it's almost like she can't stop it. What she's gone through is so horrible, and what she saw was so horrible. Of course it's going to affect her. And again, they're handling it with the utmost care. They're handling it very realistically. They're letting Himiko breathe as a character in terms of all this trauma and this stuff from her past and this stuff that she wants to, you know, bring towards the future as well when it comes to her fight with, like, you know, because again, she wants to defeat this copycat Herald of Death because she believes it will be good for the Astro Express, but also I think as well, she remembers the fight she had with the Herald of Death and understands how important that was for the people of Planet Arcadia as well. She has no problem, like, saying this too. But yeah, it's what they're doing for Himiko's character this time around. I'm very much a fan of, not because as I said, not because I'm like, yay, she's suffering, but because it's like, once every character has had some time to shine. Maybe you could say, like, Welt hasn't as much, but I feel like Himiko's always supporting everybody else. She's always there for us. She's always been the one to support us. And even now, when we could be the one there for her, she's still the one that's kind of like being the backbone still. But I want to be there for her when she needs us as well. 110% of what everything she's going through. But yeah, I'm so glad Himiko's getting a story, even if it's, like, going to break my heart. Probably it's going to be very traumatizing going forward. There's probably going to be some very sad stuff. Still some stuff from the past that's probably going to be very, like, traumatizing. I still think that, like, bringing Himiko to the forefront is a good idea. So the plan pretty much is now we got an invite from Pearl. She wants to talk to us about the Phantasm Games. She's giving us like a little bit of like an insight into maybe like into some stuff with the Phantasm Games, and we're thinking that maybe it's because she's believing that we're all in the same boat. Maybe there's something she wants to tell us because of that as well, which again would make sense. With the Herald of Death stuff happening, being able to work with the other supplicants is not a bad idea. This is a situation where like everyone kind of has to be worried about what's happening here, especially since it is technically a copycat. Since the original Herald of Death can't be someone who like enters the games twice, so it makes sense that like there is like a situation where there is like a bit of weariness about it. But it's like we have that kind of like situation going on with Pearl, where now we have like, okay, what's she planning? Because she's always planning something behind the scenes. We saw this with Yao Guan. She's dealings with the Stellar Hunters. She now has dealings with us. Like she is like always has like some coals in the coals in the fire, meat in the pan. She always has something cooking, always all the time. And I feel like that makes her character so interesting because I can't get a full read on her yet. And she is like an Intellitron, of course, but we can't get a full exact read on who she is yet and what she's doing. And I think that's actually a good thing. Planet Arcadia is keeping us on our toes, and then she's definitely one to keep us on our toes as well. Whatever her situation or her dealings are, or whatever she wants with us right now, we're going to find out in the next episode, I'm thinking as well. But it's so interesting to have a character like that. It is going to keep us on our toes, and I think it's a really, really interesting character trait, and I really like... It keeps everything interesting, keeps another part of it intriguing, and another mystery to it as well. Of course, it keeps it that way as well. So yeah, we're calling towards Pearl. Himiko sent us off to do that while she goes off to her dad, who's going to give more information maybe on the Herald of Death and all this stuff that happened years ago as well, and the Phantasm Games. And so we have a plan of action, and we did meet Ashfield as well, and that scene with Ashfield was also very interesting too, because once again, Planet Arcadia is, as I said, a dark comedy a lot of times when we're doing these stories. It's a funny story while also still having a lot of dark elements to it. I feel like Ashfield is like a perfect representation of that. He is a funny, bumbling, charming detective who clearly likes sleeping. He has a very funny sidekick. He's a funny character. But I think here you get to see him not only in action where he was trying to be undercover and get involved with this cult that he was talking to as well, so you could follow some leads on what happened to Costite. He also has like this thing where in the same breath he is kind of doing some finagling to get a comic book off March. He's asking for signatures as well. He's being very funny and comedic with us and being very charming and adorable in a way too as well. But then also at the same time too, in the same kind of sentence, you can see the kind of pain he's going through and the frustration he's going through and the anger he's going through, where he has made a deal now to get a mask from Pearl. And you can see there is this kind of thing where he's very frustrated, hurt, angered, and you can hear in his voice, it gets deeper, it gets more not stilted, but more raspy. There is a frustration that comes from Ashfield as well, where he is upset. And I think rightly upset, right? It's one of those things where this is a friend of his, but also, as he said too, this is a massacre. This is something that again isn't just people, and I don't want to say justice, but this isn't two gangs having a war and people dying, right? Which is still horrible. This is a slaughter that is reminiscent of a massacre that happened 15 years ago that caused an immense amount of trouble here on Planet Arcadia of course it did. It killed people, it injured people. So this frustration and this anger that he feels of wanting to stop this, I think it adds a layer to his character of okay, he's bumbling, he's funny, he's adorable, all this stuff in between. But it shows here that when he needs to be serious, he will get serious. And he is serious about this to the point that he told us hey, let me do this. You guys do your own thing. I'll do this. He's very serious about this. Yeah, just great characterization between him, Himiko's dad, Himiko herself. I think the way that they write these characters is always so well done, and very dynamic and interesting, to the point that Ashfield is a character I want to see again already. I'm I wonder what he's going to say next. On the serious level and on the comedic level too, he's so fun in that sense, and I think he's a really great character to be around, and I quite enjoy his time. I quite enjoy how funny he is and how charming he is and how serious he can get too. And again, the serious tone that changed last episode changed absolutely everything here as well. For Ashfield, such an interesting character. Something I didn't say about the Himiko and Ryosuke thing as well. I think that the cliffhanger that they did was very interesting because, this is something that I feel we're going to have to come to terms with going forward in this story as well. But he talked about being trapped inside a room, and maybe he was saying emotionally or not whatsoever, but this is something obviously has been affecting him as well. It's something that's affecting Himiko. The trauma of this murder and the 15 years is affecting Asheville. I think one thing that's a big theme about all of this, and we've seen this throughout this whole thing, is the trauma of what happened 15 years ago may be something that some people can brush aside, but this is something that has affected people greatly and still talked about today as something that is like a bad example of what can happen with the Phantasm Moon games. And it's affected people so much that this is like, triggered a whole like new situation here where like everyone is kind of reeling from this. The people who experienced it before are reeling from this. The people who've had people die in this one are reeling from this. It is almost like, as I said, changed everything, and then also brought up a lot of really horrible memories as well. And this happened only 15 years ago, so like, of course, it's going to be very fresh in people's minds still. But the way they're doing it and the way they're using that kind of massacre as a way to like, set the tone for like what's happening right now, I think once again is masterfully done. They've done it in a way that's like, using the trauma of people from the past, creating new traumas for people in the future, and setting a new stage for future trauma, future horrors, future murders, future terrifying things to happen. They're really setting the tone where it's like, this is not the end. And what happened before has happened again. You see how it's affecting Himiko, you see how it's affecting Ryosuke, you see how it's affecting Asheville. This stuff needs to be prevented. They've done a really good job with it too. On the other side of the thing, and on the extra stuff, like I really love how like people are like, still making this world feel alive. They're talking about the live streams, they're talking about the comic books. I love the scene where we're just going to get a comic book with Marsh. It's so good. The town is so lively and talking to people is so fun. The way they're bringing back up the cult again that they already introduced in the first act too, like it's not being forgotten about. Everything feels so alive in this world, and everything feels so commercial but feels so alive as well. They've done such a good job of creating a world. Whenever I step into it, I'm like, it just feels like a real place that people are living in. It's populated. It has shops everywhere that make sense. It has residential areas that make sense. It's really fully populated, and it's so cool. It's so interesting, and it's so fun to step into like a world where like you can see like the culture of the place and see like the way people like buy stuff, the way people line up for products. I think I'm not saying this is exclusive to Planet Arcadia. Like for example in Amphorius, we got to see like what people buy in the streets. We got to see what people like, where people recreate and where people have fun. That's what I love about Honkai Star Rail. They show us like those things to show us like the culture of a place and show us like, the real life feeling of a place too. I think they've done a good job with that as well. Guys, if you want to see these videos early, you can do so on YouTube members or on Patreon for €1 or whatever it is in your currency. And you get every single Honkai Star Rail video early on YouTube members and Patreon for the month that you are pledged, for the entire month that you're pledged as well. If you want to see your name go by in the text credits, that's the €10 Chunky Baby Gangsta tier, and that is both on YouTube members and Patreon as well. And you get to see your name going across in text credits for every single video on the channel, not just Honkai Star Rail, every single video. And if you want to hear your name be shouted out verbally at the end of every single video as a verbal shout out, that is the Never Can Repay the Baby Gangsta tier. And that is the highest tier at €15, and that's on YouTube members and Patreon as well. You get your name shouted out every single video for the entire month that you're pledged as well. And I want to say thank you to the patrons first at the highest tier, that being Typharo2, Jamie Bull, Johnny the Banana, The Ghost of Inazuma, Felicious Felix, Yuld, Anusta, Assassin, True Peanut Butter, Peter Shelson, Liam, Hikesperian, Neo Shourite, Leah 200, Malcolm Kunde, Axler21, and the highest tier of my YouTube members, Blasco, Lusanagi, and Shen. I'll see you guys very, very soon. Bye-bye.